Again, I love what you were saying there about the branding, James. It's my job to be on there because I can really help people to smash it. So that is my comment. And I bet I shocked you a little bit in that one.
You did. You know what? I didn't expect to have to do this, but I'm going to do. I'll give it a round of applause, everybody. I'll give it a round of applause. Oh, she's gone right back up in my estimation. I feared it. Do you know what? I stepped into my fear, stepped out of my comfort zone. I chatted to Alison, and now I feel better about life again. Fantastic. Thank you, Alison. We appreciate the support. And what a fantastic win of the week, a TV show. So if you can't get enough of Alison here on Clubhouse, you can now get her on your screen shortly as well. Fantastic. Good on you. And yes, that is. I love the way that you frame that. It is your duty, it's your moral obligation as someone who can make an impact to spread your messages as far and wide as possible to make as much difference as possible. So yeah, love that. Great way of reframing the way that you sort of potentially don't want to put yourself out there.
I just want to add another thing on there. So they asked me for another couple of people as well, if I could recommend a couple of people, and it's people that I met on Clubhouse, and I just put a wee nudge through, and I don't know whether they'll get it or not. But again, with a fixed mindset, people are like, oh my God, I can't put somebody through there. They might, might get more airtime. But for me, I'm thinking, it's people with really strong messaging that can really help. So, never be afraid to collaborate, never be afraid to put people through. And I think that's how I live my life. And that's, that's my win. It's not just about me. It's about giving other people that opportunity. One of the things is lift as you climb. So I'm climbing, but I'm also bringing people behind me. And I think that's another thing that, that's another win that I can give that opportunity to other people.
Amazing. Lift as you climb. I've never heard that before, but I love that. What a great analogy. Fantastic. Good on you. And if you do need somebody who's a bit rough around the edges, but is, like a bad lad turned good story, then I'm now managing Ashley Shipman's diary. So, if you'd like that. Or if you need a small plane, I can also arrange for transport via Paul Apple Crumble as well. So we can provide transport and rough around the edges, rough diamonds. Please, if either of those things sound of interest, please email jamesburt@talentmanagement.net. Thank you. Okay, enough of that. Right, on to speakers. Flash your mics if you've got something you'd love to share about this subject. Celebrating your wins, the importance of celebrating your wins. Let's go for a diamond. Who's still muted?
Here
she is, everybody.
I got my mic working. I'm so happy to see Lucy and James, Paul, John. Oh my goodness, and all the friends, you guys. I love being here in the Winners Club early in the morning here. For my win, and guess what? My win is technically not my win, but kind of my win. I'm going to explain. So this week I launched a new event where I do on-the-spot coaching, where I do on-the-spot mindset reset, NLP, and I worked with a client this week, and she had a huge breakthrough, and I was so excited to do that. And so that was a win for me because I stepped out of my comfort zone by doing the live coaching here on the app on Clubhouse. And I got a win because the client had a breakthrough right there on the app. And I just thought that was phenomenal. So really excited, huge win. And I'm just so happy to be a part of her journey and that process. This is Diamond, and that is my win. And I am complete.
Love that. And I love the fact we're already sharing wins that are relating to other people. So you can win via other people. You can vicariously have a win through others. I love that. Fantastic. Good on you, Diamond. I love the fact that it doesn't matter how much energy you come in with on Diamond. If you go out, it's like an energy fight, isn't it? It's like you give it loads and then she's just got another level. It's like, this is Diamond. And she's like, hey, everybody. I'm like, I'm never going to beat Diamond in an energy fight, am I? I should just admit defeat now. Fantastic. Always gets me excited when we get to Chapter Diamond. Let's go to, who was flashing then? Let's go to Nichelle and then we'll go to Credit.
Hey guys, I feel so much better. I can talk. Oh my God, I'm getting over a cold. So that is definitely one of my wins. And my wins is to see other people win. Both of my friends, oh my God, they were amazing this week. One is on the billboard for his book. And my other friend, she closed the deal. So I love seeing other people win. And that is my win for the week. I'm Nichelle and I am done speaking. Thank you.
Just a bunch of nice people on this morning, isn't there? Just sharing other people's wins. Fantastic stuff. Right, mods and speakers. Anyone got a selfish win? Anyone who just wants to talk about how they've won this week? You're going to look real bad now, aren't you, if you keep flashing them? Oh, sorry, we'll get to Credit next, won't we? Credit will come to you, my friend. How is Las Vegas tonight?
God, it's amazing. So many new grand openings, but I have kind of a selfish win. I just decided not to work for 4 days and decide to take a vacation. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Lake Tahoe, met up with Nate Forrest. He's on this app, and just partied and just enjoyed myself. And at the same time, doing a lot of content. And it's kind of selfish, but at the same time, it was educational because I always talked about grabbing content along the way for your social media. And I actually did a lot of video there, and I was posting on Instagram to let people know that even on vacation where you're feeling guilty about taking time off for yourself, but you can still incorporate a little bit of content in there so it offsets the guilt. So I had an amazing time, but at the same time, I was still in production mode. So that was kind of my selfish win. But at the same time, it gave me a head start for the new week because I've gotten some content under my belt. So I'm not really stressing out. I got a head start in my vacation, which is kind of cool. Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much, Credit. I think that's so interesting, isn't it? The guilt that you feel as an entrepreneur when you have a little bit of a break. When was the last time you stepped away from your phone for more than 48 hours, Ashley Shipman?
I was going to say
1996.
Before there was iPhones.
Yeah, I thought it might be. Yeah. All right. Right.
I want to add something. So I got a solar charger for my phone because I was hiking. I'm like, holy crap. This is a problem when I run out of battery trying to do content. So I bought on Amazon a solar charger. Is that kind of obsessive? I don't know.
I think it's premeditated. You are someone who makes your living by putting out content, aren't you? So I think it's just good practice. Is it a slight addiction? Maybe. Have you got a problem? Potentially. Maybe you should get some professional help around it. Okay, sure. But I think it's just premeditated. It just shows that you're an organized human being. That's how I would frame it, because I'll be exactly the same. I'd have one of those battery packs, where you charge them up for like 15 hours and then they give you like 3 full charges. I'll be having one of them. But yeah, good on you. Thank you, Credit, for sharing. Very much appreciated. Right. It is just on 7 a.m. here in the United Kingdom. We should probably have a little bit of a reset. In fact, should we have some music while we do it? Yeah, why not? Let's have the full vibe this morning. So good morning, everybody. You are tuned in to the Winners Club. This is Breakfast with Winners, bringing you the number one way to start your day in the UK every single day. I never get bored of that rhyme. I'm glad you guys don't either. Not that I gave you the choice. This morning, we're very excited. We've got 2 guests on this morning. We have got author, investor, speaker, and trainer Lloyd Girardi. He is somewhere down the M1, heading from Northampton to a beautiful Ilford. He's going to be on just before 8 o'clock this morning. Got an amazing story, actually. This guy was selling LED light bulbs, and he lost a couple of people who are very close to him in his family in the same year. And he's like, do you know what? Enough of this mediocrity. I'm going to go out on my own. He now runs a very, very successful property company. So looking forward to that. And also at 7:30 this morning, we have got Natasha Hamilton from Atomic Kitten, who've really released their song Whole Again to Football's Coming Home Again. And they've had a mad week with it going viral. So we're going to be getting Natasha on about 7:30 this morning as well. We'll be talking a little bit about the single, what this week's been like, how mad it's been. And I actually know, I mentioned this earlier, but for those who weren't in the room, I actually know Natasha quite well. I worked with her on her podcast, actually. And she really struggled with fame when she was younger. So it's going to be really interesting to find out how she's enjoying this experience this time around. Because obviously, with a football-based single, it's going to burn very, very bright, but very, very short. Come Sunday. Either way, when we win, see what I did there, Kev? Put it out as a positive manifestation. Kev will like that. But when we win, either way, it's going to, that whole little journey's over, isn't it? Come Sunday. So it's going to be really interesting to have that conversation with us. So we're talking this morning about wins of the week and celebrating your wins, the importance of celebrating your wins. So mods and speakers, popcorn styley, feel free, flash your mics. Have you got a win of the week that you would like to share? Is question number 1. And also, how important do you think it is to celebrate your wins? Let's go to Dale, and then we'll go to Ryan. And just before we do that, guys, if you want to watch the live stream, you can also do it. Click the link in either my bio or Ashley's bio, or the Winners Club bio, or Paul's bio, and you can go to our landing page, thewinnersclub.club, or you can just go there if you want, thewinnersclub.club. and you can go and watch the video stream as well because we're on live. Waving at the camera. He's waving. Right, Dale, over to you, mate.
Hey, buddy. Thank you for making me grin like an idiot walking the dog. Love this show so much. Appreciate you, man. And everyone else as well. For me, massive win of the week. I've been invited to do my mentoring program in 2 schools. One of them all the way in Peterborough, which is about an hour away from me. So I'm really stoked about that. There's a local MP that's kind of called upon somebody to see who's pretty good at teaching schools and working with kids. And so I know this great man, but he wasn't available, so they got me instead.
Good band. Self-deprecating. We're very British, aren't we? Go on.
We are. Yeah, I can't be too much. But on that same thread, oh my gosh, I can't really shut up about myself sometimes. People have to mute me on social media. I've seen a few people in the street and out and about. They said, "Oh, you're doing too much on this gram thing. I have to mute you." And I'm okay with that. It's okay. I'm proud of what I've achieved, and I'm happy with what I achieved, and I love the direction I'm going in. So I think the more you shout about yourself means the more self-love you've got, and that's very cool to have. Over to you, mate.
I actually love Dale's videos.
Dale is my favourite person to follow on Instagram.
Yeah. Give us a flash of a mic if people watch Dale's videos. They I like them, Dale. I'm a fan, so keep doing them.
I'm a big fan. The ones where you're like jumping in a bin and stuff like that, or you're like, "Oh, mate, come over here," and you're doing it just. I'm like, it's absolutely brilliant. I would say, Dale, never change the content that you're putting out, because you are actually the epitome of somebody who promotes yourself brilliantly, but it's always about somebody else. You know, it's always about the lesson that you can learn from the kids can learn. It's very, very clever how you do your content. In fact, if you're not yet, I'm going to, where is Dale? Dale is modded up. So if you look, if you PTR, pull to refresh, Dale is on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7th row down. God, we've stuck him right down the bottom, haven't we, today? God, that's a subconscious knock, isn't it? Jesus. 7th row down on the left-hand side with a beautiful purple background. Click onto Dale's face, go through to his Insta, and he is one of the best content creators on Instagram. Very engaging, really, really brands himself brilliantly, but always makes it about other people. If you want to see how you could do branding without doing bragging and still show your skill set, Dale is the epitome of exactly that. So good on you, mate. Don't go changing, in the words of Billy Joel. So that's my win of the week is knowing Dale. Do you know what? I'm just chucking it out there. Just knowing Dale.
His videos, I've got to say,
they're brilliant, aren't they?
They're up there. Yeah.
They're brilliant.
They are.
I also love the ones where he films his girlfriend and she doesn't know, and he puts like sexy music when she's walking down the street. I'm like, that is brilliant. I would get rinsed if I did that to Hayley. So I'm always like, yes, Dale.
I get battered for that. I put sweets on her bed when she fell asleep the other day. She didn't like that.
Oh, brilliant. Go follow Dale. Go check out his content. Brilliant version of, brilliant content that shows branding, not bragging, in the perfect way. So good on you. Ryan, we'll come to you next, my friend. What's your win of the week, and how important is it to celebrate wins?
Morning, James, and morning, winners. It's super, super important to celebrate our wins, because I think if we don't, then life just becomes a bit of a chore, doesn't it? And we don't actually appreciate the effort and the wins that we actually get out of life. Just celebrate. And sometimes it could even just be giving yourself 5 minutes to, I don't know, listen to your favourite song, or watch a bit of TV or anything. It could just be a tiny, small win. But if you don't celebrate it, then it doesn't give you that sort of oomph to go and do it again, you know? So just before I celebrate my wins, James, what happened about the barbecue in your shirt?
Do you know what
was the result?
Do you know, it was 100% burn it. So I had just like what I thought was a nice floral t-shirt on yesterday. I thought I looked very summery. I mean, did I put it on because I didn't need to iron it? Yeah, sure. Does that make me lazy? Yeah, sure. But I was wearing it, and then all of a sudden I had loads of people. I get very little engagement on my Insta stories ordinarily. I put out a lot of content. I mean, it's not as good as Dale's, don't get me wrong, but I'm pumping out a lot of content, and all I got yesterday was rinsed for my t-shirt. So the ex-CEO of Thomas Cook was like, mate, talk to me about that shirt. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I put it onto Instagram as a joke. I was like, should I burn it or keep it? And the vote came back as 100% burn it. So at some point over the week, I'm going to have to burn my t-shirt and put it onto Instagram. So, I mean, I don't have to, obviously, but I'm weak. So if the people have spoken, I will give them what they want. So yeah, at some point this weekend, I will burn my shirt.
Yeah, James, in fairness, I didn't mind the shirt. I think it looked okay, but I think it'd be funny to live stream it and burn it on the barbecue.
Burn it on the barbecue.
my wins of the week. I got 2 wins actually, and it's both speaking to people on Zoom, and one was Beju and the other was Lucienne. So
oh my
Beju,
God, if that's your wins of the week, you're talking to Beju and Lucien, you've had a bad week, haven't you? You are struggling, mate.
No, I just want to give them both a shout out because Beju, amazing guy, and Lucien, such a wonderful lady as well, and very kind, both of them. So that's my win of the week. And also, this is a little plug, guys. Tomorrow I'm actually jumping out of a plane for mental health charity. So if anyone wanted to donate, there's a link in my bio. But yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, good on you. Where are you doing that, mate?
Paul's Plains? One of Paul's Plains?
No, I think it's called Maidstone, the place. I'm not too sure. I've never been there in all honesty, but I'm sure it's Maidstone.
Maidstone. Okay, so yeah. Paul's flying over there today as well. So Paul could probably just come up and get some footage out of a plane window, couldn't he? If anyone wants to be a photographer for Ryan, we could get an unofficial picture from Paul's plane, which I'm never going in ever again in my life. By the way, it is not for the faint of heart. Awesome stuff. So do you know what? Let me click onto Ryan's face. Let's make Ryan a mod. Here you go. So you can now find Ryan. Oh, he's gone to the top left. Has he gone top left?
Yeah, let's sort it out.
He's gone top.
Let's push, guys. Go over to Ryan's bio. What is it? Where is the link, Ryan?
Sorry, mate.
Where is the link in your bio in your Instagram?
Just click on the Instagram and it'll say on there parachute for papyrus.
Do you want to give a little bit more in-depth detail just to the listeners to see if we can get some donations for you, my friend?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Ash. So what it is, it's a mental health charity that focuses on sort of suicide prevention for under 35s, because adults under the age of 35 is one of the biggest suicide rates. So yeah, it's just raising money to sort of help raise the awareness and support those in need.
Amazing. Good, doing a great thing, a great guy doing a great thing for a great cause. That is win. So yeah, guys, go and click onto Ryan's face. See on the 9th row down the left-hand side with the beautiful blue background. Click on his face, go through to his Insta, and the link is in his bio. Good luck tomorrow, my friend. Yeah, and if you can, donate what you can to a great cause. Fantastic. Love that. Right, wins of the week, my friends. Flash and mics, mods and speakers. Wins of the week, if you'd like to share your win or share how important you think or how important you think it is to celebrate those wins. Let's go to the sniper. He was brought up in conversation a minute ago, so we should probably give him the opportunity to defend himself. Beju, aka Time and Envy. What's your share?
Do you know what? Massive. I've woke up late today. I can't believe it.
Put him back in the audience. Put him back in the audience.
Oh, you can't believe it. I'm on my way to the gym now and all the rest of it. So no. Yeah, I had a great conversation with Ryan. Top guy, he took it on the chin. He properly took it on the chin, so credit to him. You have to celebrate winning, because if you don't, we're going to celebrate a massive win on Sunday night, guys. It's coming home. I just want to say on that, right? Jokingly, on one level, great, it's coming home, but the impact on the country with England win is unbelievable. It'll be fantastic. It'll be so good. I know some of our American cousins and brothers might not know the impact, but it'll be massive. And in the same way, if we don't win, we've really got to watch out for our fellow brothers and sisters, because that might tip over mental health issues with a lot of people. So just watch out, to make sure someone goes quiet or someone's not around after Sunday if we don't win. Just look out for them, because it can have an impact. Just on a serious note, when especially big tournaments like this, if England don't win, like domestic violence goes up like 38%. So we've got to be really conscious of, if we win, great, it's got to be euphoria. Well, if we don't, we just got okay, what's going on, and just make sure that we look out for each other over the next few days and weeks. But you have to celebrate wins, because and it's not about bragging, because if you celebrate a win, what it shows someone else, that someone else can think, actually, this person's similar to me. I can relate to this person. They're celebrating. Wow. Okay. And then it gives them encouragement to say, look, go for something that you really want to go for, and also acknowledge it, because when you celebrate a win, it motivates other people. It makes them think, well, I can do it as well. So yeah, 100%. This week it's been a steady week for me. No massive wins, no massive losses. It's been a steady week. Great conversations, and great conversation, Ryan. And sorry, James, I did burn the shirt. Don't know what the hell was going on there, but I'm so sorry.
I saw one of those votes was you. Don't worry, I marked your card, pal. Don't worry.
Do you know what? I avoided doing it.
I don't care.
I avoided doing it because I really liked it.
Thank you, mate. You didn't. You just didn't want to have to come and face me face to face, did you?
Didn't have to answer any questions.
Awesome stuff. Cheers, babe. Thank you for that share.
Thanks, man.
No, it's good. It's good to hear those stats as well, because, like I say, it's really important. There's euphoria right now, and let's hope that it continues. And we've been locked up for 18 months, haven't we? It's the celebration that everybody needs. So onwards and upwards. But like I say, be mindful of keep an eye out, keep a check on each other, look after each other, be kind to each other. What was it that Jerry Springer used to say? Was it be kind to each other? Ash doesn't. Do you remember? Do you know who Jerry Springer is?
Yeah, I know. Was it be nice or be kind or go home? I don't know, something like that. Be kind or something like that.
Be kind to yourself and each other.
That's right. Be kind to yourself and each other. That was it. I used to love that as a tagline. Brilliant. Right. Thank you, Beju. Very much appreciated. Hey, on the celebrating wins thing, one thing that I would say is it's important to celebrate your wins in a way that is congruent to you and actually means something. So when I did my peak performance certification, there was a thing called material anchors. So you can actually anchor in a feeling, you can anchor in an emotion. They do this, it doesn't just have to be material. You can do it in certain situations, and you can kind of get people into a state by what they call anchoring. So you kind of make something have a physiological impact. You can it could be a stance, or it could be a move. It could be something that then just takes that person to a certain time and feeling. I've currently got on, if you're watching the live stream, I've got on a £2,500 watch that I actually really don't like because of what it means. So I got bought this by my ex-business partners, but it was bought because they had screwed me over. So like, oh, come on, let's get a watch. They were them sort of people. So actually the material anchor, the £2,500 watch, which you think, oh yeah, you put it on and you think about the successes that you've had. It makes me feel exactly the opposite. And I also, a couple of years ago when I was running this coaching business, and I frankly was acting like a bit of a Neanderthal, anytime we'd like sign a client up, we'd go to this stupid bottle shop in Great Dunmow. Have you ever been to Great Dunmow? It's well expensive. Yeah. We go to this stupid like off license place, and we'd be like, oh, what can we, £500 bottles of champagne. I didn't even drink really. I drank it for the sake of it because I didn't want to be outdone. So I'd have £500 bottles of champagne, buy a £2,500 watch, but it didn't actually mean anything. So the thing with celebrating your wins is celebrate it in a way that means something to you. Because I've got to say that when I started the Ultimate Podcast Group, which is my podcast agency last year, I remember the first time I ever got a sale was for £150. And honestly, the way that I talked about it and felt about it was like I'd made 150 grand, honestly. And the biggest celebration of wins that we have within the agency every month, this is beautiful. Every month, my wife, Hayley, will get a photo that I've posted on Instagram, and she turns it into these little cards. So I don't know about it. They just turn up in the post. And I remember the first month, it was like signing my first client, and a little postcard came through the door. I was like, do you know what? That postcard, which cost £1.50, means more to me than a £2,000 watch or a 20 grand car or any of that silly stuff, because it's got to mean something to you.
If you don't like the watch, James, why don't you sell it?
Yeah, because I've scuffed it all up. I'll probably only get £100 for it now, and I just feel like I've mucked myself. Yeah, do you know what? I'll burn it. I'll burn the shirt and the watch. Shirt and the watch. Any negative anchors, I'm gonna write down a list of things I don't like about myself. I'm gonna burn it on a barbecue. It's gonna be very good. Tune in 9 p.m. on Sunday, where I set fire to my garden.
Well, the England will be on, so.
Oh yeah, don't do it then.
James, post your watch as a story on Instagram and say, right, how much you want to bid for it.
Oh, that's a good idea, isn't it? Oh yeah, okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to tag in Beju as well. And don't mug me off with the £1.50 off for Beju. Love it. Right, thank you for the shares. Right, mods and speakers, flash your mics. We're going to be joined shortly as well by Natasha Hamilton from Atomic Kitten to talk about this fantastic new single that they've created. Southgate, you're the one. You still tell me on. Football's coming home again. I can't wait to dive into that conversation with Natasha at about 7:30ish. Very briefly, she's between like TV appearances. It's gone mad this week. I can't wait to hear what's happened this week for her and for her to share her wins. So in the meantime, mods and speakers, please feel free, flash your mics. Let's share some wins of the week, and also how important is it to share those wins? Let's go to lovely Ray Anna.
Good morning, James. Morning, Ash. Morning, everyone. Yes, I'm going to share a very, very female win. I have found a breakfast that I am eating every day that has balanced my hormones. So obviously that I am not getting achy boobies in the month. I know you two will be sitting there squirming right now, and you probably won't have a clue what to say to this.
This is great news. This is great news all around. I'm glad you brought this subject to the floor.
I'm not sorry. I'm really not sorry.
Don't be sorry.
It's so important because once a month, every time I hug my kids, I'm like, ow, not my boobs. And I have found a porridge blend that I eat every day, and I am not having achy boobies. And if anybody wants to know about that, you can DM me. It's not my product. It's not my product. Just saying that. So yeah, I'm not getting any financial benefit from telling you this, but I am getting the physical benefits. I'm Rihanna in the red, and I'm done speaking.
I can't believe that somebody's win of the week is porridge for your boobs. Like literally, if you'd have said to me, is there any chance that someone will one day you'll end up having a conversation live with other people about porridge and boobs? I mean, they're two of my favourite things, frankly. I just didn't know there was a link between them. So this is great news. On a serious level, though, Rihanna, have you looked into progesterone cream?
No, I haven't looked into that.
Okay, look, do some Googling. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. Do your own research, people. But I spoke to the godfather of progesterone, or one of the biggest people in the States who found out the benefits of it. So, yeah, check it out. I won't go into it because I'll butcher the information, but check out I think there's progesterone.com. And there's lots of stuff because people think that it only relates progesterone to when you get towards the end of your cycle with menopause, but actually preemptively used, it's really, really beneficial. Really beneficial. So there you go. So that's porridge, progesterone, and boobs all covered off. Anyone else got anything they want to say about porridge or boobs before we move forwards? No? Great. Right. Thank you for the share. Mods and speakers, flash your mics. Anyone else found any fantastic cereal? Anyone else rubbing stuff on themselves that's making them feel good? Or we'll go to Audrey. We'll come to you next, my friend. Or are you not flashing?
Well, hello, everybody. I'm in California, and James and Ashley, thank you so much for inviting me up here. I'm in awe with your accents. You're taking me back to when I was 21 years and I found love with a British guy.
He must have been a rough British guy.
Well, yeah. So we won't go there, but I'm like thinking, do I speak in my accent or try and speak in yours? I'm all confused, but I'm loving this conversation. I've just been flying all day. My win is that I'm coming back from West Virginia. I was working with a client, and I left and I felt like I accomplished something today, because it has been a very difficult journey trying to do what I do over Zoom and training some people in the automotive industry. So there was a win there, and we are traveling, and it was amazing. And I'm now finally going to go to bed while you guys are waking up. It's so late here. It's 11:22 at night, but I'm really excited to be here. And some of my favorite people are in this room right now.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much. Drive safe. We wish you well on your drive back to Cali from West Virginia. Yeah. There's a song about that, isn't there? Take Me Home Mountain Roads. Do you know that one, Ash?
Yeah. Take me home. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Thank you for jumping on. We love the fact that we are, it's like drive time. It's like drive time radio. We've made it, Ash, haven't we? I'm not being funny. Are you enjoying the show more because Apple Crumble's not here?
Well,
I'm vibing it, man.
I feel like when you was at school and the teacher walked out the room and you just got given.
Yeah, or a supply teacher comes in, you're like, I'm definitely bunking off this one. Right, guys, flash your mics, mods and speakers. We're going to be having Natasha from Atomic Kitten's going to be joining us in very, very shortly. Shortly? That doesn't make sense. Shortly. I'll just get rid of the word in. She's going to be joining us shortly to talk about this new single that they've released and the mad whirlwind week that has been from going viral on Sunday to recording on Monday to signing a temporary record deal on Tuesday to hitting the charts on Wednesday, and now currently sitting at number 4 in the charts. And what we want to do, we want to try and get as many people as possible to download and to stream this song this morning. And we're going to try, as the Winners Club, we're going to try and take a song from number 4 to number 1. Can we have a number 1 hit that we can claim as the Winners Club? Oh, I love it. Old school reference to the chart show there. Like it. Right, mods and speakers, flash your mics, popcorn. Do you know what? I'll go down the bottom of the mod table because else you end up just chatting to the same people at the top. Don't you? So let's scroll our way up. Let's go to Dickie. We haven't heard from Dickie for a while. Dickie Armour, we're coming to you, my friend.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Oh, my God. You guys have kicked it up a notch and a half. I just looked at your live YouTube streaming. Fucking hell, I love your studio, boys. Wow.
Full credit to me and James there.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time, effort and energy on this. Hopefully Paul Apple Crumble's not listening, but me and Ash have sweated and toiled over this one. Worth the effort.
And I just want to celebrate Ryan Nurse. Ryan, You're amazing, mate. Honestly, you deserve every success that you're going to get in life. And I've just sponsored you. Good luck jumping out of that plane tomorrow. You're bloody bonkers. I've got a podcast called Monday Motivation. It goes live every Monday morning, completely free of charge. I think I'm quite unique on Clubhouse. I'm not here to monetize me or my business. I share my experience. I'd never call myself an expert. I think that's a title other people give us. But my podcast has been going for 5 years. And in July 2017, episode 21 was Celebrate Your Successes. I'm a huge Formula One fan. And for me, it's the one sport, ironically, unlike football, where it doesn't matter the nationality of the driver. I was a huge Ayrton Senna fan, massive Michael Schumacher fan. And if you follow Formula One and you used to watch Michael Schumacher, when he won, he absolutely celebrated his successes. And I think we need to do more of that in business. I've got a very exciting renewable energy storage business. We're about to, I'm not meant to say this because it's not public, but we're just about to list on the stock market. Win of the week is I've raised over £2.5 million this week. Come on with it. And Glenn Morshow, my brother from another mother, is in the room. So just love Clubhouse and wanted to recognize the Winners Club and how you've kicked it up a notch. Loving that studio. Thanks, guys.
Mate, thank you so much for the kind words, and what a great win of the week you've had. Not many people do that in a week, do they? Fantastic stuff. Thank you for sharing. Very much appreciated. Right, we've probably got time for a couple more share. Also, I'll tell you what we're going to do before the end of the show. There's another member of our community who's had some big wins in the last couple of weeks. He hasn't really talked about it. Trey Lowe, who is the producer, one half of Architects, the production double act. They've had a remix released by a young producer kid called Wiles, and it was used on Love Island, and it's an absolute banger. It is the sound of the summer, man. I can't wait.
That's the one.
Yes.
James, what's that called? What's that song called, mate?
So the song,
check it out.
it's called Body Groove. So it's a remix of their hit from years ago, but it's Body Groove featuring Crystal King, I think it is. And the producer guy is called Wiles. He's a young producer from Brighton, I think. Wyles. I'll give you a snippet. Here you go. It is such a tune.
He was listening to it.
Oh my
God! Go on, boys. Go on, boys.
But we'll play the whole thing at the end. We'll play the whole thing at the end of the show because it's an absolute banger. I love the original back in the day, and the remix is fantastic. Yes, we'll play the whole thing at the end. Hopefully, we could get. Can someone message Trey?
I'm messaging him.
Message him. Yeah, we're gonna let him know we're gonna play it at the end. As our outro music today. Awesome. Right. Mods and speakers, flash your mics, popcorn style. If you've got a win of the week and how important you think it is to share your wins, let's go to Megan and then we'll go to Sharon.
Thank you. Yeah, so my win this week happened on Monday, and I did an exam unmedicated for the first time in 6 years. And I think it's really important to celebrate your wins because it encourages others to celebrate their wins and it makes everyone more positive.
Awesome stuff. Let's give a round of applause, everybody. To Megan, flash your mics. That is a win of the week that is well worth. Do you know what? Megan is absolutely the queen of sound bites. She gets in, drops some fire, gets gone. 30 seconds every day.
Oh,
she's a soundbite queen.
James, earlier this week, Megan had, can you hear me? Megan had a task to do and she did it. She smashed out the water. Megan, do you want to tell them?
To read and look through all my training ahead of Sunday when I'm meeting Dale.
Awesome stuff. Well done, you. I thought, who was that? Who I might to say the win was that?
Beiju.
Yeah, I thought. I thought it was Tom and Envy. I was convinced that the challenge was going to be read Beiju's book, Change Your Game, which is following me all around Instagram via retargeted adverts at the moment. Beiju, you're everywhere. You're omnipresent in my life.
It's working. Is it working? It's working.
Yeah, Beiju.
It's working, my man. Well. Good stuff. Right, thank you, Megan, Queen of the Sound. In fact, let's rename Megan Queen of the Soundbite. You can be the king of Clubhouse. I'll be the king of banter. Paul can be Frank Sinatra because he's Can't Fly With Me, which he will be hating if he's listening right now. And Megan can be the queen of soundbites. And Lucienne can be the princess of nonsense. So now we've got all of our family have got a name. That's great. Sharon, we'll come to you next, my friend. What's your win of the week and how important is it to share those wins?
Hey James, thank you so much. Yeah, I had a great win yesterday. So basically, part of what I do is obviously virtual shoots, and I've been working with a fairly well-known matchmaker who asked me to photograph one of her ladies who wasn't having much success due to her photographs, and so I took some photos of her. And the matchmaker was so happy with the transformation that she said she's going to send all of my clients to me, all of her clients to me. And she's also going to recommend me to everybody else in the dating industry as well. So that was a major win. And she said, she was really impressed. So, and so was the lady as well. She didn't recognize herself. So that was amazing for me. So thank you. And how important it is for the wins. I think it's really important because it's just important to acknowledge where you're at, and also, it's part of your growth, isn't it? So acknowledging where you're at, how you're doing, and also putting it out into the universe as well, so that other people can see it too. It's great. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much, Sharon. Very much appreciated. Big shout out to everyone who's watching on the live stream right now, guys. There's quite a few people watching the live stream. We've got someone who's watching in the afternoon in Kuala Lumpur. Janetta's watching, Leslie's watching, Dickie's watching, Matt's watching, Joel's watching. So big shout out. If you'd like to watch the live stream as well as listen, you can do. At the moment, obviously, it's just me and Ash just sat in a room by ourselves. Not that much to see, but Lloyd Girardi, successful property investor, author, speaker, and star of a recent episode of Rich House, Poor House on Channel 5. He's going to be in the studio very shortly. He is a guy who's done extremely well in the property game. I met Lloyd and his business partner, Andy, on the first day they ever did like property education. So I've seen their ascent to greatness firsthand, and it's brilliant to do. So yes, I'm very much looking forward to that. He's also a really nice guy, but he had a 1 year, he was selling LED light bulbs at one point. And then he had a year where he lost a couple of very close members of his family. He's like, do you know what? I've got to go and do, life's about more than this, and I've got to go and live it. So he's got an amazing story, which we'll be sharing shortly, which we're very excited about. So mods and speakers, give it a flash of the mic, popcorn styly, if you'd like to share your win of the week. I've just had a message from Natasha Hamilton from Atomic Kitten, who can't get onto the app. So I'm going to deal with that behind the scenes. So if somebody wants to have a long and waffly answer, that'd be fantastic. And that being the case, let's go to Sejal.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
Please do. It's meant to the best way possible.
Okay, so I've got one's gonna probably be a bit more personal and sentimental to myself. But my first win is that I pitched to be a residential expert in wellness for a single parent community. And I'm so excited that I'm going to be featured on their weekly app and their Zooms. And so it's about 15,000 parents that I'm going to be coaching and delivering masterclasses for. So I am absolutely stoked about that. And my second is a bit more sentimental. So my mum's been very ill for a couple of weeks now, and she got diagnosed with leukemia yesterday. But I think we feel grateful for the fact that we now know what she's got and that she can receive the treatment that she needs. So that's another win. And the NHS have just been absolutely amazing. Her consultant, the nurses, everything. So we feel optimistic now about her future. And yeah, that's my 2 wins of the week. And I think it's really important to celebrate our wins, actually, because we always looking for external validation. And when we celebrate ourselves, we actually validate our strengths, our experiences, and our skills. And I think that's really important when we're trying to expand and, kind of take on new projects and get up to that new stage in our life as well. And just overall optimism. So, yeah, thank you.
Awesome stuff. Fantastic, Sharon. We obviously send good vibes and lots of love to your mum, and we wish her well. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that very personal win of the week, Sejal. Appreciate it. And thanks also for giving us 2 wins of the week, because that really helped me out, because I was doing stuff behind the scenes. I could hear you going, oh, what shall I say next? That was fantastic. Good on you. Thanks for supporting the family. Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world, I'm very excited because let's have a little bit of the theme music. We have got somebody on the stage right now. We're talking this morning all about wins of the week and celebrating great things that have been going on. And somebody who's having some fantastic wins this week and some very exciting things that are happening in their life is my good pal and 1/3 of Atomic Kitten, Natasha Hamilton, everybody. Good morning, Tash. How are you? How are you doing?
Oh my goodness, what a week.
Oh, mate. Right. Tell us what happened. Because as I understand it, the story goes, you and Liz, who are 2/3 of Atomic Kitten, you still do a lot of gigs together. So you were down at Box Park in Croydon doing one of like the official, like England COVID safe party gigs or whatever it was. And you did the big hit, the seminal Atomic Kitten hit, Whole Again. At which point the crowd started singing this random sort of version remix of Southgate, You're the One, You Still Turn Me On, Football's Coming Home Again. And then I saw on stage, you sort of look at each other, then you just go with it and start singing it back to the crowd and they're loving it. And it just went viral. And then the world turned upside down for the next 7 days for you. Is that about right?
Not quite.
Oh, damn it. Go on then, what really happened? Tell us the truth.
Really good version of the story.
That's the PR version. Just go, the PR person go, no, go with that.
So in 2018, when it was the World Cup, me and Liz started getting sent all these videos of groups of men in pubs after the match, reworking the lyrics of Whole Again to Southgate, You're the One, You Still Turn Me On, which we thought was hysterical at the time and didn't think much more of it. And as the World Cup was going on, more and more people were like, you know what, you should do a version of this song. So we thought, you know what, we might just do one and see what happens anyway. Nothing much happened that year. And we just didn't think much more of it. But it's been brewing. It's been a slow burner. Every now and then when there's a match on or something's happening, we'll get sent a video. And then once the Euro started this year, all of a sudden it was very apparent that everybody loved the Southgate You're the One version. So we were invited to Box Park and they said, would you mind singing that version? And we said, no, not at all. Well, it went off. And I think me and Liz looking at each other was as if to say, oh my God, what is going on? Because you're in a room mainly full of men, belting it out at the top of the lungs. Southgate, you're the one. You still turn me on, which we just think's hysterical. That went viral. Sunday, we had lots of inquiries from like labels saying we want to re-release this song, but the new version. By Monday, me and Liz were in the recording studio. We called Jenny. She was lying on the beach in Ibiza because she's got the best life ever. And said, look, do you want to be a part of this with us? And she said, yeah, why not? And by Tuesday, it was released in the charts. And 24 hours later, it was sitting at number 4. It's just crazy.
Unbelievable. What a week. We're going to play the song in a minute. What we want to do, guys, if you're listening, you can click onto my face. I'm James at the top left with the questionable pink salmon jumper. You can click onto Ashley's face or click on Paul's face or click onto the Winners Club icon. Go through to the link in our bio. And we've put a link in there to get the song. So it's currently at number 4. We're having to go up against, right now in the charts, number 4, Atomic Kitten with Southgate, You're the One Again. Number 3, Baddiel and Skinner, unsurprisingly, with 3 lines on your shirt. Number 2, who would have thought this? Neil Diamond is at number 2 in the UK singles chart. And at number 1, flipping Ed Sheeran has released a song this week. What a vibe sniper. So we've got to try and beat Teddy, and we've got to get above Neil Diamond and above Baddiel and Skinner. And we are trying to. What we'd love to do this morning is get as many people as possible. Click the link in the bio, so either on James, Ashley, Paul, or the Winners Club. Go through to our associate tab, so our little landing page. The second button down, it says "Get the Song," and you can go and download the track right now. It's like 99p. Come and support Natasha. Support what they're doing. I think this is I just love stuff like this. I think it's so fun.
Also, we are the only females in the top 5 at the moment, so you've got to back the girls.
Support the girls. There you go. There's another good PR angle. Support the girls. Support the football. I'm really interested though. Obviously, I know you're really, really short on time. We'll play the song in a minute so we can tell everyone to go and download it. But obviously, you and I know each other quite well. having produced your first podcast series, and you had a real tough time with Fame the first time round. Obviously, you know, the band I think was put together at 15. You signed a record deal at 16. You know, you're flying around the world. You had your first son at, I think it was 19. So you're a teenage mum, a pop star.
20, James. Come
20,
on
sorry, 20. So you're a young mum, you're in the media spotlight. There's a whole like horrible media thing about like ladette culture at that point, and the media and the press were just on you guys 24/7. And you had a real struggle. And you've said, you know, a lot of times on your podcast, which was fantastic, by the way, not because I produced it, because it was great content, but you said a lot of times, you know, I actually really struggled, and no one was talking about mental health. And you were saying to people like, your tour managers, like, I need a break, I need to, but no one understood it back then. How much, you know, what's this week been like? Have you got to a point at all this week you're like, oh God, I can feel that feeling coming back? Or are you just embracing it because you know like, this is going to burn really, really bright, it's going to burn short because it is what it is? What's it been like?
It's a total mixed bag of emotions, to be honest, because obviously we know this is going to be a very short-lived time in our lives. So we want to make the most of it. The work schedule is more grueling now than what it was 20 years ago. Even the record label have said, we've never experienced anything like this. You guys are amazing. But, you know, I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm seeing it for what it is. You know, it's a bit of fun. It's getting behind the England team. My kids think it's awesome. I took my 16-year-old son to Wembley with me the other night to watch the match. And he was like, you know, Peter Crouch was there. And, you know, he was just amongst it all. So I'm getting the most brownie points. And I mean, literally, as we speak now, I'm getting my makeup done because we're going to do like TVs and photo shoots and everything this morning. It is crazy, but you know, I know the rules of the game now. Do you know what I mean? So
because of that,
taking it too serious.
Yeah, no, you could see that from the content you guys are putting out. I could just see you having a really good time. It looks like, you know, even like the celebrations the other night on behind the scenes at Peter Crouch's show, you look like you're just having a real good time together. I mean, you get into a celebration, didn't you? I thought you were going to snap your heels. The amount you're stomping on the floor.
My God, I've ruined my shoes because we were that whole floor was like wooden slats. And they were brand new shoes, and the amount of times I fell down the gaps of the wooden slats, I've ruined my shoes. I'm not happy.
So it's been a great week and a terrible week all at the same time.
Exactly.
But because of the challenging times before, do you think that's making you enjoy it all the more this time around? Because like you say, because you know it's like, you know, the media's on you right now. Everyone's sharing stuff, Insta story, like it's a whirlwind. But you know that come Sunday, you know, either way, when we win, putting it out to the universe, positive affirmations and all that. When we win, you know, that maybe keeps the spirit alive of the song for, you know, maybe another 7 or 14 days. But in 2 or 3 weeks, this madness is kind of dies down. You can go back to planning your wedding and get back to normal life and your other businesses, etc. Can you enjoy it more because of the challenges that you had last time around with Fame?
I just think every morning when I wake up, I just take a deep breath. It is a lot to take in. When we released the song on Wednesday, later in the afternoon, I was just kind of sat having some food with friends, and I just started, like, I welled up. And I was like, oh God, this emotion, because it was the first time I'd had like a quiet second to think about what was happening. Like everything before that was just, I was on the train and we were moving really fast. And I just got a bit overwhelmed, and I was like, what is this feeling? Like, what is it? Because, you know, we are doing weird things and standing in the middle of Leicester Square with a brass band and there's loads of paps taking pictures. And it does automatically take you back to all those years ago when maybe you weren't having the best time, but you just got to keep saying, this is not the same. This is new Tash, not old Tash. And I've done a hell of a lot of work, you know, to work on myself and build my own confidence. And I've got great people around me as well. You know, my partner, my family, my friends, everyone's been so supportive. So I feel like, you know, I'm doing okay.
Awesome stuff. Well, look, we're going to play the single now, guys. I've just gone and bought it on iTunes. It's on there. You can get it right now. It's only 99p. We'd love to support Natasha. We'd love to support the Atomic Kitten Girls. We'd love to vicariously support the England team. We're going to play that. We're going to play the song now, which we very rarely do because this is not like a radio show. This is sort of like a debate and a serious conversation normally. But we're like, do you know what? Let's have a bit of fun with it. So we're going to play the track now, guys. If you could go and click the link in my bio. or the Winners Club or Ashley or Paul's bio, and you can go across to our little landing page, or you can just go to thewinnersclub.club. That's thewinnersclub.club. Second button down is get the song. You can buy it from iTunes, but there's also, you can stream it and all that kind of good stuff as well. So we're going to play it now. In fact, you know what, like old school radio style, can you introduce it for us before we let you go and get your makeup finished?
Of course. So good morning, everybody. This is Natasha Hamilton, 1/3 of Atomic Kitten. And this is our new single, Southgate, You're the One. Football's coming home again.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Modern speakers, if you could do me a favour, unmute your microphones, give her a round of applause. It's been so much fun this morning. Here's the track. Go and download it right now. Thank you, Natasha, for being here. Get downloading, guys. Get downloading. We're going to play the full tune.
Walking down the street, staring at the sky, dragging my 2 feet. You just passed me by. It still makes me cry.
Football's coming home again. But I'm going to play the whole thing.
Woo! If you see me sitting,
let's get this up to number 1. It's currently number 4. Come on, get downloading, guys. Stream it as well. There's a link in the bio. In fact, do us a favor. When you buy it, change your bio picture now so we can see how many people we can get to change their pictures. It's coming home. It's only coming home, isn't it? I love it. Sing along, guys. Oh, come on, you killed me. You killed me. Next time around, we're all singing it, okay? Just so you're ready.
Time is laying heavy on my heart. Seems I've got too much of it since we've been apart. My friends make me smile, if only for a while. Football's coming home again. Looking back on where we first met, I cannot escape and I cannot forget. Something you're the one.
You still turn me on. Sing it. Yes! We nailed it second time around, guys.
For now I'll have to wait. This is our time. It is our fate. Because I just can't go on.
Yeah, everybody PTR. Let's see how many people have bought the single. I've changed my profile.
Coming home again.
Oh, imagine Sunday night. Imagine Sunday night.
Looking back on where we first met, I cannot escape and I cannot forget. Something you're
Awesome. Loads of people are changing their pictures. This is what we like to see. Oh, I'm questioning the tone, but I like the enthusiasm. Football's coming home again. Oh, how good was that? Natasha Hamilton from Atomic Kitten. That was that was great fun, wasn't it? Oh, I'm playing another song now. Hang on 2 seconds. I'm getting overexcited. We'll come to that one later on. Fantastic, guys. I really appreciate it. I'd love to get that single into number 1 today. It's currently at number 4. Lucian's changed her picture. I've changed my picture. Let's PTR, see how many people have changed their pictures. Louise has changed her picture. Dickie's changed his picture. Rob's changed his picture. Rob, I love the fact that Rob Barber is a very serious safari leader in Botswana, and he's still changed his profile picture to Atomic Kitten. That is fantastic. Claire's gone old school with an old school picture of Atomic Kitten. That's fantastic as well. Great stuff, guys. Yeah, if we can. And if you follow Natasha on Instagram, there's loads of different ways you can support the song. You can stream it in all those different places as well. Fantastic. Right, we're just going to get ourselves settled in the studio because our good pal, Lloyd Girardi's only here, isn't he? But before that, let's have one more win of the week from you guys on the stage right now. And also, we're talking about wins of the week and how important it is to celebrate those wins. So flash your mics, mods and speakers, if you'd like to share a win of the week and how important you think winning is, how important it is to celebrate your wins. Supreme, we'll come to you, my friend.
My name is Supreme, and my win of the week is I started my nonprofit 3 months ago in Los Angeles. We feed impoverished communities and impoverished homes. The goal was 100 meals a week for 100 weeks, so that's 400 meals a month. We're literally at 1,500 meals in 3 months, so that's phenomenal. I'm just one human being who opened the kitchen and decided to do it, so it's been phenomenal. That's definitely a win for me because I'm on par for like 30,000 meals at the end of the year, and I could never imagine that. So it's every bit phenomenal. And you have to share your wins because in life you gotta keep the same energy. Equality is a qualified state, not a quantified state. So if you be hard on yourself, which is cool, be equally gracious to yourself and applaud yourself, and be supremely to yourself and be supreme to yourself. I'm complete. I appreciate you all.
Awesome stuff, my friend. That is absolutely fantastic. So where is your nonprofit based? Where are you in the world?
I'm based in Los Angeles, California.
That's amazing.
So I'm in the States.
Awesome stuff. And tell us again, what, just to reiterate, can we find out more information about it? Can we support you in your fantastic work? How can we get involved?
Okay, so what I do is, I feed impoverished. I literally feed homeless in Los Angeles. I feed them gourmet vegan. I'm a vegan chef. I've been vegan my whole life. French trained chef for the past 21 years. I decided to give the people who deal with the worst the best quality of food. So a meal you would spend $15-$20 for in a restaurant, I make for $5 and provide for them. So you can sponsor that way. If you have connections in the States, like through Whole Foods or groceries, any other kind of connection, I'll take that as well. But right now it's getting hot in the States, so I'm striving to get funds for water because a lot of people have been asking me for water nowadays. Like the food is good, but they need water. If you go into my bio, you can see all the information. The nonprofit is called the Harvest Academy. And our goal is to change the world through food. Plants are here for us. Animals are here with us. And the whole is always greater than some of its parts. Thank you all.
That's awesome stuff. Fantastic. Thank you for the work you're doing, my friend. Love that. Right, mods and speakers. We're very excited because do you know what? Should we have the theme music? I think we should have the theme music, shouldn't we? We're going to get all official again. We are very excited. Sorry, we had to drop everybody and then we're re-bringing you up, etc. when Natasha came up, and we've got another. I know what you're thinking. Hang on, surely they haven't got more. They ain't got more in the bag, have they? Oh, yes, we have, my friends. We've got the one, the only. I'm waiting for the build-up of the music, by the way. The one, the one, the only, Lloyd Girardi. He's in the studio. Fantastic to have him here. He is an investor, a speaker, a successful dude, an all-round lovely man and a great human being. Oh, I tell you what, Ash, what do you reckon? He's competition for the best car, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. I've just seen the Aston Martin with Lloydie as the number plate.
Yeah, so he is here to talk about us. He's been my pal for a long time, and I've loved watching his rise to greatness in his sector. He's one of the most well-liked guys in the space of property. So we're going to talk all about what he's done in his life and how he's got to where he is now. Oh, that worked out well, didn't it? 60 seconds sometimes is too long for an intro music, I'll be brutally honest. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm in the studio.
You are in the studio. Are you as hyped to be here as we're hyped to have you?
Yeah, mate, I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
So the only question is, how much trouble are you going to get in with the other half, aka Andy, for missing out on going to Shirefit this morning? Is he going to be like, "You're weak, man. Come on, we're still here doing"?
Yeah, mate, he's there every morning.
He loves
every morning without hesitation. He's there.
He loves it. All right, so let's go right the way back because we're talking about wins of the week, and we talk about how important it is to celebrate your wins. And I think it could be mistakenly easy to look at someone like you and go, well, you've got all your stuff in line now, haven't you? You've got, the beautiful wife and the kids and the successful companies and some nice cars and all that kind of stuff. But I know that prior to that pivotal moment where you decided that you had to have more out of life, there was a big shift that happened a few years ago, which made you go, do you know what? I can't sell LED light bulbs for the rest of my life. Life is about something more. Tell us about the journey of Lloyd.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks for having me here, first off.
Pleasure.
Yes, mate, it's good. I see it in the pictures, but in the studio, it is great.
It's legit. Me and Ash have spent a lot of time working on this. Paul's been a little bit lazy with it, but to be honest,
I think it was a full week, and it was one of the hottest weeks. We was under.
Ash was just there constantly with a screwdriver. He didn't know which end of the screwdriver to hold, but he was holding it anyway.
People on the live stream saying they can't see Lloyd. So Lloyd,
that is very true because I've got it on the wrong camera angle. I was just looking at my receding and shiny head. Look at that. That's horrific. Here we go. Let's do that one.
Where are we looking?
You can look, that camera there is looking at you. There you go. Oh, there you go. He's waving everybody. Right, come on then. The journey of Lloyd's, tell us.
Yeah. So for me, I started in property developing in 2014, which is where we met.
We did.
Your good self.
We did.
I was a little bit bigger back then as well, but we've been on a life transformation as well. But
yeah, I was as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything.
Hashtag skinny fat.
But yeah, for me, back in 2014, the shift and the mindset that you talked about was, November 2013, I lost my dad through a brain tumor. And that for me was the moment I thought, I'm going to do what I've always wanted to do. And what I wanted to do was have a business. Just didn't know what business I wanted back then. In 2013, I was selling LED lights. So that is what I was going to go and do. I was going to sell lights because that's what I knew.
Yeah. How did you get into the LED light business?
Oh, so it was your business? LED?
No. So I was working for other people and just sort of working around, just doing the same thing every day, getting the same money every single month, even though I was really working hard, trying to get more customers. And it just, for me, it wasn't my life passion. It's not what I wanted to do. I wanted my own business. How
did you end up in that space in the first place? Just literally, it was a job that came up. You were at that age where you just take a job and that's it.
I went from job to job to job to job.
What was your first job? What was your first ever job?
Pot wash, Frank and Benny's.
Everyone does something like that, don't they? Like a pot wash job. Okay.
I did work my way up from pot wash to dessert chef.
Oi! Dessert chef, is that just scooping ice cream into a pot? Okay, fair enough. I'm not knocking it. I imagine you're a great scooper, but
there's some sauce involved as well. It's not just like scooping, all right?
Don't mug off the dessert chefs in Frankie Benny's. All right, so you've gone from job to job and you end up in the LED lighting space, and then that's what you're gonna do because that's the sector you know.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed what I did. It's just it wasn't my passion. It wasn't what I wanted to do. So yeah, November 2013, unfortunately, my dad passed away. And it was that moment I said to Andy, who I knew at the time, how do you start your business? How did you start your business? Because it's exactly what I want to do. And he gave me a few tips and ideas. And he said, I'm looking into property. How about we go along to this 3-day event and see what it's all about?
The famous words that every property person's been on their journey. There's this event. How much is it? No, it's free. Don't worry, it's free. We won't buy anything. No, of course you won't. We've all been there, haven't we? So you go along to this property event. So Andy, at this point, just to give some context, so Andy's your business partner and also your wife's cousin.
Yeah, it's not as incestuous as it sounds.
That's why Lloyd has got 17 feet. So you
definitely not in height.
Yeah. So Andy was already running quite a successful construction company, but he was kind of not in the same vein as you, but he was doing something that he enjoyed to an extent, but it wasn't what really brought him joy. He loved property, but not the aspect of just doing extensions and conversions and conservatory builds and that kind of stuff.
So at that point, he'd just finished his own house build. So he'd built his own house, and that for him was a massive step up from where he was.
The one that he's in now?
Yeah.
At the end of that lane?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's, and in fact, during that house build, I thought an easy customer here, I can sell him some LED. That's really where it started.
His family's got to do it. Yeah. He knows I've had a hard time. He's got a new house. I'm going to flog him a load of LED lights.
Exactly. Family member, he thought he's not going to turn me down. So put the prices up.
Mates rates in reverse.
I actually helped him install them. So that was one
so
thing.
That was double the price.
Yeah.
And 10% off because it was double the price.
Free installation. They don't work, but free installation.
So you end up, you said that's what you're going to go down. So did you actually end up starting that lighting business, or did it never get that far because you kind of saw this other path?
I had 2 customers.
You did? Andy being one?
Yeah, no. That was another one. That's 3 now, I suppose. But the the hairdressers I was in, she did need some LED lights in the ceiling, so I was like, easy sell. And then over the road was our architect we use now, and he just wanted some lights on the outside. So yeah, it was actually the business was called Quintessential Light and Design. And I know what you're thinking. It's a shit name.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say it. I was definitely thinking it. Though.
And Andy told me that 2 years ago. Not at the time. I told him 2 years ago.
I think I remember. Did you have like a really fancy logo, like swirly writing? And
yeah,
stuff?
It was something stupid. So,
yes, I remember that now. Okay, so you've got two customers, and then if you include ripping Andy off, you've got 3 customers. We've just increased your customer base by 50%. So you've got 3 customers, and then you go along to this 3-day workshop thing. How far into business life were you when you discovered this other world that you probably didn't know about?
I was a month in.
Okay.
I was a month in, but I didn't officially.
Right in the trenches, right in there.
I wasn't really officially registered at that point. I was just kind of going around and seeing what it was about. But
just flogging some lights.
Yeah. So yeah, this was January, end of January, beginning of February, that we went to this event. And on that note, where it is a free event and people go, but sometimes people's perception when they go to these free events is they moan because they get sold to, but it's a free event. Like, you're gonna, it's your choice
100%.
at that point to do something or not.
Everyone gets the game.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody gets the game. I guess that's the issue, isn't it?
So I made the choice and said, look, I need to do something with my life. Like people talk about whys and why you're doing things. For me, the reason I wanted to start a business is because it was my passion since a kid. And because of my dad, the loss of my dad, he was 53. I thought life is too short. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Just going to do it. So I said, it doesn't matter what it takes. I've got no money. So if I fail, I'm back to where I was anyway. So for me,
what's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
So you said that you'd always wanted to run a business. Were you one of those kids that you didn't know what the business was going to be? You just wanted to run something. And who was the inspiration of that? Was your dad in business or your granddad or?
No one. None of my family were in business. For me, it's just, I've always been a creative. I've always wanted to create something for myself, and just basically do something. Didn't know what. I think I was one of those kids that tried this, then failed, and tried that, then failed, and I just kept
lawn mowing, grass cutting, lemonade stands. Not that you do lemonade stands here, do you? You wouldn't so much lemonade in Northampton, would you?
Not a lot, no. So yeah, I just wanted to give it a go. I wanted to sort of have a passion of doing something and create something. And again, property just happened to fall into my lap because at the time, and we have a saying that activity creates opportunity, and the activity I created by talking to Andy at the time gave me the opportunity to do property with him. So I had to put myself out there. I had to sort of think of doing something different.
So when you go to this 3-day event, you're sort of sitting there and you sort of, seeing the various speakers on various different subjects, and they probably, in one of those events, they probably talk about like buy to let and service accommodation and rent to rent and how to buy below market value properties and deal source and all that kind of good stuff. At which point do you nudge Andy and go, this is what we need to do, mate?
It was more him.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was more him, because at the time I was thinking, this is foreign to me. I have no idea what they're talking about. BMV, JV. What is
just
it?
Just a load of initials. I don't know what I'm doing here. So, WTF.
Yeah, I was in a bit of a daze. I was thinking I'm way beyond where I probably should be and what I should be doing.
Yeah.
I was going to think I'll do this 3-day event, and I'll go off and do something different.
That's what they all think. That's what they all think. That's how they get you.
But Andy, he'd been looking into this for a few months, so he was kind of bought into it. And fortunately, obviously, I was kind of hooked into kind of looking at the property world with him. Not hooked in that way, but hooked as in I did have a passion for it. Previous jobs, I worked for Taylor Wimpey and things, so I got the property world. And he was just sort of talking and said, right, if we're gonna do this, let's do this. And I'm thinking, I don't want to do this. I can't afford this, but I've got to do it. He's like, I've got an opportunity here, and I need to take it. And that's for me the choice I had. I just had to do something. So I actually got a credit card for the first time in my life. Andy paid for this sort of mentorship we went on to, and I paid him for the half that he'd paid for. So I just had to do something. And even to this day, I don't think he feels I never paid him back, but I did.
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard that story a million times. Told from Andy's viewpoint, it's like, I never got that money back either, the little bastard. How interesting. But in those moments, isn't it? I think sometimes those are those catalyst moments where it is like squeaky bum time. You can't really afford it. Do you want to get a credit card? That whole thing. But ultimately, do you think then, because of the loss of your dad, who I know you were super close to as well, is it in those moments where you're like, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? Do you then go back and be like, I told myself in November, life's too short. I watched dad pass away, 53 years old. I've committed to this. And now I've got to do it. Now I've got to walk the walk, and rather than just talking it.
Yeah, I think for me back then, I was naive. I couldn't see what other people taught themselves out of doing. So a lot of people we teach now, they come up with all these excuses and reasons why they haven't started.
Yeah.
But I didn't know them when I started. So I was naive to start, which for me was a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically thought, I've just got to do it. I've got nothing else going for me. At the time, I was just working and every day getting up on a Monday, working for the week, living for the Friday, living it up at the weekend, back on a Monday. And that for me, I wasn't enjoying it.
And a month into your own business, living for the weekend, champagne lifestyle on lemonade wages.
Yeah.
Get the old credit card out. Okay, so then, because as I understand it, so Andy already had the construction company, and then he sort of pivoted from like doing other people's work. He's like, well, if I got enough work of my own, then I could just keep my lads working on my own stuff. And I think that was kind of initially that was going to be the plan, wasn't it? To find enough deal flow to go from one refurb to the next. And these were going to be, 3 and 4 bed grottas that you turn around, make them nice, tighten them up, refurb inside and out, nothing overly fancy. That was going to kind of be the model.
That was the intention.
That was the intention.
Definitely.
That's not become the reality, has it? As half of Northampton is now named after names that you decide upon on social media.
I am actually trying to get a street name called White Box Way, but they're just not having it.
Build your own office, then they can't tell you no, surely. Or did the council still approve it?
We've probably got more of an argument at that point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. My granddad's got a road named after him in the town where he lived in Framlingham in Suffolk, which is actually incidentally where Ed Sheeran's from.
I was going to say, yeah.
Flipping Ed Sheeran. He keeps coming up. He's ruining the vibe, man. There's Andrew Burt's Way, named after my granddad, who's a head teacher there for like 40 years. That's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
How cool is it to drive into a street that you've named?
That would be awesome. Yeah, it is cool. Like, although there is a story about naming a street. We had the first site, which was 8 houses we built. The council said, "Oh, you can name the street." I was like, "Oh, great! This is where White Box Way
Lloyd
came
Terrace."
You joke about that. But basically, they said, "Oh, you can name it what you want. It's your street." I was like, "Great!" So I put a few names in. They're like, "No, we can't have that. You can't name it after a company." So that White Box Way. I was like, "Okay, what about Andy Lloyd Close?" And they're like, "Can't name it after yourself." I'm like, "All right."
Andy Lloyd Close.
Can't you second name?
So we tried. I tried.
Maybe it's Italian. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not sure about having you in actually today. Now I think about it.
Cut me open, mate. I'm red inside. They came back and they sent all these like names and stuff. They just disapproved all of them. So I said, "Look, you might as well tell me what you want because this is where it's going." Yeah. So they sent a load of and said, "Oh, what was on that site before was an old cycle factory. So can you name it after something to do with the bike?" I was like, "Yeah, you tell me what you want because this is where it's going."
Yeah.
And it ended up being Tandem Court, but
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was all right.
It's all right.
It's not the name we wanted.
It's no Lloyd Andy Terrace, is it? Or
No.
Lloyd Andy
Girardi Palace.
Yeah.
So you're going to do the sort of the refurb, the flips, the simple stuff. And by the way, guys, if you're listening in, we are in conversation live in the Winners Club as part of Breakfast with Winners with the one and only Lloyd Girardi. We're going to open it up as well to Q&A from you guys. I'm just trying to give some context to the content this morning to get an understanding as to who Lloyd is and the stuff that he's done in his short but illustrious career. So you're going to do the refurbs and the flips and that kind of stuff like bog standard. How on earth did it go from that to? Because I think the first house sort of project you worked on was these SIP panels you worked at. So not only are you sort of like first time developers, your first time using this new sort of building model entirely, which are these SIP panels which you have to import from Europe. How did that escalate?
Yeah, there was a lot of firsts on that site. Obviously, it was our first site. We used SIPS panels, which was basically structural insulated panels to develop, which is quite a quick and easy way of building. But yeah, the first.
Not many people were doing that at that point, though, were they?
No, not at all. And also, the other first was I think we were one of the first to use Funding Circle crowdfunding on that site as well.
Right.
Which was we had 9,000 investors, average £62 each, investing into that deal. But yeah, it was very interesting first site, very interesting. So the first site, to give context behind it, was we thought about doing single buy-to-lets and turning houses into HMOs and things like that. But Andy had a build background, so why would we go and do a conversion when he's just built his own house? And he was looking to grow his building company as well. So we said, well, we might as well build our own portfolio. Like, why can't we? And that's the question we kept asking ourselves is, why can't we do it? Like, no one else is doing it. So why can't we do it? Like, what's stopping us? And the only way to find out is do it. And we kind of did. We made a few mistakes, but yeah, we did it.
So the first site comes available. So you sort of having this, how do you guys sort of define the direction? Because I've spent quite a bit of time with you guys. Had some lovely Chinese Indian takeaways up at Andy's gaff, and then we did the Andy's boxing fight, didn't we? We documented all of that in a previous life for me, and still the same life for you. We won't touch onto that too much. If you know, you know. So yeah, we spent quite a bit of time together. You got a real lovely, sort of warm, but sort of like big brother, little brother banter thing going on. How do you guys decide what's happening within the business? Do you sit down and have sort of, I guess now it's getting bigger, you have to be a bit more serious about it. But at the time, was it just like, how did you have that conversation going, I don't think we should do these, like just these flips or these HMO conversions, you know, because you're probably just like reading out the text with that, but we need to sweat the asset. But if we take one unit, we turn it into 4 individual rooms and we're protecting our downside and all that generic stuff that you get taught. How did it go from that to going, do you know, why are we doing this? Do you have meetings at that point, or is it literally over a curry? Like, I'm not sure on this.
So there's a video on our YouTube channel of us explaining that 3 weeks between the course and why we did the first site.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it literally is me round Andy's house, round his dining table, just saying, why can't we do it? Why can't we do it? And it kept questioning it. So okay, let's look at it. And the answer all the time was, well, yeah, just
you can.
Like, there's nothing really stopping us. So it was the first 3 weeks was very like much out of my comfort zone, thinking what I'm just looking at this site is very fictional at the moment. And the site we're actually talking about as well is it was at auction on the 19th February 2014. So it was 19 days after we'd just done 3-day training. So we were thinking Billy Big Bollocks going straight in, buying a site. And we literally just, the whole thing was, in fact, one of the sayings that was in our mind a lot was find the deal, the money will follow. We thought, well, money will follow. It's only £750,000 we need to find. Never borrowed money.
2 weeks after doing a training course about it, what's the worst that can happen?
So what experience have you got there, Lloyd?
At the time, not a lot. I'd borrowed £1 off my mum before, but didn't pay it back. But no.
There's a theme here.
Yeah, so we literally were like, let's just do it. And then we went to the auction. There's a story about the auction, which is in my book, but I won't reveal it here, but it's an interesting story. But we ended up winning it eventually. And then we had to find £157,000 in 4 weeks or 28 days. And that was a challenge.
Yeah.
That was a challenge.
Because now you've got a very big, a very engaged social media following of people who've watched your journey, like I have, you know, from close courses from 2014 to now. So you've kind of got 7 years worth of social proof and, you know, a portfolio with a GDV of about 25 million quid and about 50, 60 units you still hold?
Yeah, so we've got, it's 26 million now, the extra million, because we actually...
Sorry about that, man. Mugged you for $1 million there.
That's my fault, because we missed £1 million off a deal once. And it's not as bad as it sounds. That was the problem.
There's a real pattern here. You're bad with numbers and money, aren't you? Missed £1 million quid.
Yeah, so we've maintained or retained a lot of the properties we built.
Because that was also part of your structure, wasn't it? It was to buy it, to build it, and to hold it. So to refinance it, so to use crowdfunding or sort of expensive finance to start with, and then make these things and then get them refinanced onto sort of standardized mortgage products.
That's it. And to date, I think it's 14 million of property that we still own.
How many units is that then?
82, I think, but 160 odd units in terms of HMO rooms and stuff. Gotcha. So, yeah, but it's been absolutely phenomenal the last few years. Like I said, the social media side is what we love. We love sort of sharing our story with people.
You've kind of nailed the social media stuff now, haven't you? You kind of found that real sweet spot where it's not like clickbaity, retarget. It's very much organic led, isn't it?
Yeah.
But people have bought into you and now they'll buy from you.
We've said from the very beginning that we just want to be ourselves. Like, we don't want to try and be other people. And we actually, when we were doing the speaker circuits and things, we were probably trying to be other people at the time.
Because that's what you're trained to do, though, isn't it? You have to stand on the stage in this way, stand in this position and talk about your backstory and then, you know, drop this link. Yeah, I get it.
So we said, we just want to be ourselves. And as soon as we were,
it took off, didn't it?
Yeah, it just took off. Everyone was like, you guys are just normal. And that's where the hashtag Whitebox Way comes from. Obviously, the company Whitebox.
He's still trying to push that road name, isn't he? Come hook or by crook, he's going to get that name out there.
Hopefully, Northampton Council are listening.
They're big fans of this show, by the way.
Yeah, someone said, look, you guys do it completely different. So you do it the Whitebox way. And I was like, taking that. I'm having that.
That's good, isn't it? I like it.
Yeah, it's been great.
All right. I've selfishly asked enough questions for my own interest. So we're going to open it up to the panels. If you would like to ask, look, sorry, Ash has got a question.
I just want to talk to Lloyd about the TV show he was on. That's what I want to open up, just in case for people in the UK that may have watched the show. How did that come about? Where
So
did
what
it
was
come
the
from?
what was the show?
The show was Rich House, Poor House, which I was a fan of and I watched. And then we got a phone call in the office, and one of the girls in the office took the phone call, and it was from the kind of recruitment agency of the show. And they basically said, "Look, we want to be on your show. We've seen, no, we would like you to be on the show. We've seen your YouTube video of me explaining how I started and how I got going, and they thought it was a good story. So they invited me to be on the show, which was great in the first place, because a lot of people think we applied for it. And I thought, this is a hoax. This is not right. So again, I was like, tell them I'll have a chat with them, but we'll see how far it goes. And then next thing, they had a chat and they asked me a load of questions. I'm thinking, I still think this is a bit of a hoax. And I've got history.
Andy winded you up.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't. I just kept going down the line, and it kept getting better and better. And I was thinking, this is actually all right. I think this is legitimate. So yeah, we ended up being on the show. We filmed last November, and it was aired in March this year, which for me, the reason I wanted to do it is because the main thing I wanted my boys to go through it. They're 6 and 4. And I just wanted them to experience just something that they can then look back on and we can talk about, because money doesn't get sort of talked about at school. No. And I went through school not really understanding money, not actually appreciating it. And I only learned how to get or learned what a mortgage was when I was old enough to get a mortgage. So I just think that was bad. So I wanted them to experience that. It's the behind the end of it. So if those that have seen the show, the guy that we kind of met, he was in about 30 grand's worth of debt.
That's right. Yeah, you put together a bit of a financial plan for him.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago or 2 or 3 weeks ago, he's cleared that debt.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Paid it all off.
That's fantastic.
Which is amazing. And he wanted to get into property, and I said, look, just slow down, wait. It's like because he saw where we were, but this is 7 years later. We've gone through a lot of hard work and a lot of sort of strain and stress and stuff. And I said, look, just slow down, get out your debt first, get your feet back on the ground, and then we can go. So he's actually coming around Sunday for a barbecue. So we're going to be catching up and seeing how we're getting on.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you know what? Sometimes those shows, they're a bit, what's the right word? Fractious.
Yeah.
So, because the concept of it, for those who haven't watched it, it's called Rich House, Poor House. You can probably get the idea. So it's basically a family who are quite wealthy go and live the life of a family who are not so well-to-do, and vice versa. So you go for a week or 5 days, you go and live in their house, you go and live on their family's budget. And there's some brilliant points to that show. Lydia washing her car for a couple of quid. I was like, this is gold. I bet she's going to hate this thing on the telly. And vice versa. So they came, and I think their budget was like 100 quid or something like that. It's very, very, very small amount. And your budget was saying like 1,500 quid, which is their like 3 months worth of their financial. But and they really like to start with. They didn't know how to spend the money.
They didn't spend it all.
Did they not?
They didn't spend it. They had to give the money back to the show and things. They kind of gave the
really.
They couldn't keep it, but they didn't spend it.
But some of those episodes is very much like the rich family going, oh, I can't believe how these people live, and the poor family going, oh, these are so wasteful. But the episode that you guys did, it was so warm.
Yeah.
And before it went live, I watched it go live, and I'm like, oh, please don't mug him, because I've seen TV shows, I've been involved in TV shows, and they do that. I'm like, oh, please don't mug him, because I know that you've got a really good heart. You're from a great family. Lydia's a lovely girl. You know, everything you've built has been done the white box way in the right way for the right reasons. I was like, please show that. And it did. It really did show that. And the way that, again, you sort of, Lydia found the bills, and she was like, come and have a look at these. And it wasn't like, oh, I can't believe how much debt they're in. You're like, God, these are going to struggle, if they've only got 100 quid a week spare anyway. And his mum, wasn't it, who was having to bail him out of debt and stuff. And he was like in his 40s. His confidence was crushed. You could see when he put one of your very Larry suits on, he looked and acted like a different guy.
I gave him that jacket after the show.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'm glad for that. I thought somebody's got to make use of that.
We can't talk about this because I've seen your Instagram yesterday, mate.
Well, if you send me that jacket, I'm going to burn that and my watch and the t-shirt on Sunday on a big barbecue. I don't know why I've ended up agreeing to do it.
You'll have no clothes left.
Yeah,
I've seen what you wear.
Oh, you missed this morning. Yeah,
Haley loved it. She's like,
it was 100% burn.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
no, not even one person backing me up or supporting me. But yeah, I thought it came across really, really well, and I think you got shown in a really fair light. And it was one of those ones where you could see that you genuinely wanted to help, and you could see that they were genuinely grateful for the help. And the fact that you said, we do coach and mentor a lot of people, let us help you. And I'm glad to hear. That's fantastic. So he's out of debt. So that's only 18 months to clear 30 grand's worth of debt or something?
No, November we met him. So what's that now? We're in 7 months, so 8 months.
Oh, wow.
There was some quick wins for him that he didn't realise. So yeah, we've helped him.
Oh, that's
massively,
awesome.
but it's all the mindset for him.
100%.
He understands and appreciates the money. Like he was just spending it willy nilly, and
yeah,
we just sort of helped him out.
You could see that as well in the show when you were talking about mindset. You could see he was like, to start with, he was like, I don't really get it. But then you could see him grow into it. And when he put on I remember the first time he put on the suit and he came out and his wife was like, oh, you look fantastic. He was like, I feel good. And he's confident, like he was crippled with self-confidence, wasn't he, at the beginning of the show. And by the end of the week, he had grown as a person, which was fantastic. Right, mods and speakers. I know we've been chatting away for quite a while now. We're going to open up the floor to you guys to join in the conversation. We're currently chatting to the one and only Lloyd Girardi from White Box Property, who has gone from LED lighting salesman, ripping off his cousin for his first ever deal 7 years ago. Andy won't be listening. It's fine. I'll be in the gym pumping iron. And yeah, he's now gone on to create a very successful property development company and trains a lot of people as well. And I've got to say, in the property training space, I've never heard a bad word said about you guys, which is unheard of in that space. Absolutely unheard of in that space. So yeah, one of the go-to guys in the property training space in the United Kingdom. So mods and speakers, if you've got a question that you'd like to put to Lloyd, feel free, flash your mics. If you've got a question about property or developing property or mindset or anything like that, we will come to you guys. Let's go to Joyal.
Morning, Lloyd. Yeah, great listening to your story. I also do property. Question is, when you had to raise that 750, how much was it down to self-belief and mindset about how to go raising that? And how did you do it so soon after, initially going on your training?
Great question. Yeah, so the whole beginning of finding the money was a massive thing for me. Like I'd never borrowed money off people in my life, and I questioned myself and doubted myself, and it is about belief, because I was like, well, why is anyone going to give me money? Like, let alone even a tenner. Why was anyone going to give me a tenner? Because I'm looking to build a development which I've never done before. I've got no experience. I can't show anyone that I've got track record of paying anyone back and things. And I was just a massive sort of mindset thing for me. So I was just going on what I've been taught and basically going through the motions of talking to people. The way we raised the initial, so we had to raise £157,000 initially. And that was friends, family, the people we knew around us that trusted us at that point. We weren't in the network circle of property world. We didn't have people we can go and talk to, like investors. We just had to talk to people around us. So we ended up raising £50,000 from a family friend. And it was actually Andy really that the bloke invested into, not me, because again, I had no track record. I had nothing to share with people. So this guy gave to Andy and said, right, I'm going to give you this, but you will pay me back, type of thing. And he looked in his eyes and he said, you will pay me that back. And Andy's like, okay, I'll pay you back. Don't worry. So we had 50,000, and then we had 2 weeks left to find the money because we had to buy it within 28 days at auction. And we just didn't know how. And we went to this networking event and someone said, oh, why don't you get a bridging loan? And me and Andy looked at each other and we were like, what's a bridging loan? We're not buying a bridge. Like, what's a bridging? And literally,
these people are crazy.
We Googled it and we're like, we could use this.
Did you actually have to Google it?
Yeah, honestly, we didn't know what it was at the time. And we ended up getting this bridging loan, which was for 110,000. So we had 160,000 just in time to buy it. Then we had the issue of replacing that 110,000 with other people's money, because it was only for 6 months, it took us 3 months to do. We raised that from people, again, friends, family, friends of family. Some of the network events we started going to, people were actually sort of buying into what we were doing. And then from there, we got 100% development finance from Funded Circle, because at that point we owned the land outright. And that was the easiest money. That was £600,000 from Funded Circle. Basically, they crowdsource it and crowdfund it from other people. They invest in your deal. And we ended up developing it out, creating a £1.2 million asset, refinancing it for £890,000 and paying back the £810,000 we spent. So it was, it was very interesting. So yeah, thanks for the question.
Do you reckon that was the catalyst to go in so far by putting yourself under that much pressure straight
Absolutely.
away?
Yeah.
Like, because it wasn't such a small deal, you ain't got a choice. You've had to go, and do you reckon that was it? You jumped into the bigger stages and stayed there.
I think because we had 28 days to find the money, the pressure of finding that money was on us. I had to go and do it. Whereas there's a law called law of Parkinson's law, sorry. Whereas you give someone a time frame to do something, they'll always wait until the last minute to complete it.
Yeah.
We didn't have that option. We said, well, we have to start now. We've only got 28 days. We know we need to find it. Otherwise we are going to be absolutely screwed. So the pressure really helped, but just to tell people where I was emotionally at that point, I was worried. The whole 28 days, I was thinking, what am I doing? I'm an LED salesman. I kept questioning myself as I'm really, really out my comfort zone here. But I'm a very positive person. I think very positively. So I thought, well, we'll find it. It's fine. We'll keep going and keep going.
What did you tap into in those moments? Because I think sometimes definitely for me, like when I got involved in the sort of the property thing, it opened up this whole mind, because I'd never heard of like mindset. What do you mean mindset? Oh, yeah, read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm like, oh, okay. And then like, read Napoleon Hill. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this all makes sense. Read The Secret. I'm like, no, I'm all right. I'm not crazy. but I can't. No, it's a good book, to be fair. But yeah, what were you tapping into? Was it? Had you found like motivation? Somebody, were you telling Andy how you were feeling? Was it the network of people that you're around that sort of shifted your perspective? What or who were you turning to in those moments? You're like, I'm an LED lighting salesman looking for 600 grand from a like, what the hell am I doing?
I had none of that. Well,
Great question.
The one thing I had was Andy.
Yeah.
Like
we
worked and bounced off each other really well. We went through every struggle, every challenge. Trust me, when we purchased that 22 garages, we celebrated as well. We tried to have a drink for every garage we just purchased. I think we got to 18 and we're like,
done.
Yeah. But no, for me at the beginning, I didn't have books I was reading. I wasn't listening to podcasts. I wasn't listening to audio books. I had a few YouTube videos I was watching and Andy to talk to and bounce ideas off.
What was Lydia like at this point? Was she like, come on, you can do it? Or is she like, oh my God, like, what are you doing?
She was silent because I think she was fearful.
Okay.
This was 2014. I just got married.
Yeah.
Which was expensive, but I had to pay that back. So I kind of had that money to pay back as well. I was expecting a child in 2015. So we were expecting a baby. And then I just told her that.
Was that your first one as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I said, I'm going to quit my job. I'm doing this property full time. I'm going to quit. To be honest, it took me 9 months to quit. So I was working the LEDs as well as sort of doing property. So I was up at evenings, I was at weekends doing the property, and then during the day I was doing the LED stuff. So I was working really hard.
More clients in the LED?
No, I just sort of stabled. I was just
it just ticked over.
But for me, and emotionally, I wasn't there anyway. Following my dad, I was thinking, I know I'm doing something different here. So I actually said to them in the end that it's not beneficial for you to have me as an employee because I'm just not with it. I'm not. So that's when I handed my notice and said, I can work, but just to let you know, I'm kind of just not there. So they gave me a month off gardening leave, and I ended up just getting full time into property from September 2014.
Did you, at any point during that stage, did you think that this is like grief madness had set in, and you were almost like, because I remember when I lost my dad in 2010. And I remember I had a job on the radio at this point. So I'm on national radio. I'm working the head of marketing for this radio station. I'm also heading up the sales department for their in-store music solution that we'd co-created. And we could see where this business was going to go. And I literally just came home from the hospital a couple of days later because my mum and dad lived like the other side of London. And I just sat in my flat in Bromley, my little 2-bed flat. And I used to sit in my spare room, which never, because it was a flat, it never really got much light. And I just sat in this like dark room and I just cried my eyes out, and I was like, I can't do this. And I just handed my notice in there, and then I was like, I didn't know what I was going to do next. I had no clue, no concept. I was like, I just know. I remember I had the first little cry. I was like, no, come on, I can battle through. I remember, I don't know why, I went and put on some soup, spiced turnip. It was delicious for my lunch. And as I put it, I just fell to the floor. I just fell to the kitchen floor, and I just sobbed for about an hour, and I could not stop crying. I was like, I need to get myself out of this situation. I had no idea what I was going to do. And luckily I had Hayley to back me up because she had a stable job. So we could pay the bills while I sort of found myself again. But it took me 4 months to get out of my way. And then I broke my ankle at the same time. And I was like, this is just like absolutely insane. Did you ever have that moment? You're like, am I only doing this because of dad? Because I definitely had those moments. I'm like,
I kept thinking of him. But actually 56 days after my dad passed away, my granddad passed away. So I had 2 defining moments for me. I was thinking, you know what, I just got to do it. And every doubt I had the reason why I was doing it outweighed the doubt. So any negative thought I had, I was like, well, that's negative, but actually I know positively that my dad wanted to get into property as well. He talked about it. So I was thinking, I'm kind of doing it.
Yeah.
Doing it with him.
Yeah, with
really.
me. Oh, nice.
So yeah, it was good. Really, really good at the time. But yeah, madness wise, I get the whole thinking about it and thinking, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah, or am I just going crazy here? Yeah. Right, mods and speakers, flash your mics. Sorry, I keep hijacking the conversation. Like, you guys can join in now. I'm like, oh, I've got another question. Right, I'm going down a panel. It's just like a sea of atomic kitten, which is brilliant. Right, mods and speakers, flash your mics, popcorn style. If you've got a question you'd love to ask to Lloyd, we'll go to Holly. We'll come to you, my friend.
Hi, James. Thank you so much. And Lloyd, amazing interview. I just want to say to both of you guys, you're really touching my heart hearing you speaking about your dads. My son, Hunter, who's 23, is currently really, really needing some guys to get around him. So I'm going to encourage him to listen to this interview. Lloyd, I am really interested to know about your developments and whether you are putting any sustainability measures into your property development. I am very keen on organics and living as naturally as we can in our homes, our offices, and that environments are created sustainably. And my husband is an Australian architect. He's come up with some designs for sustainable homes. But I don't want to go down that route at the moment. I just want to say I'm really passionate about this subject. And are you incorporating that into your developments?
Yeah,
I'm Holly.
brilliant.
I'm done.
Thanks, Holly. Yeah, sustainability at the moment, we are looking and talking about it because it is going to be the way that I think a lot of property will go. At the moment, I think it's too early. We're kind of not looking at it and trying to get it in because it's early. There's a lot of price variations and it is quite expensive to put some of the stuff in that you need to become sustainable. But I mean, we have got sort of solar panels on the roof, which have been around for a long time. But we are looking at other sort of options as well. One of the things we're looking at on a site, we've got 28 houses we're building up in Cumbria. And we are looking at sort of modular construction, which has been talked about as well. So they have some sort of sustainability within their systems as well. So they've got to be seen to be doing the right thing as well. So if we go down the modular route, we kind of inherit some of the sustainability from them and the way they manufacture. So in a way we are, but not yet, but we will do, I'm sure.
That's really great to hear. I am conscious that it is a way that everyone's going to have to go. And so if you're building new, it's probably quite a good idea to factor that in because otherwise there are going to be needs to go back and fix. So I'm just flagging that. And yeah, I think it sounds brilliant what you're doing. And well done, you. Absolutely amazing story. All the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I think with the sustainability as well, just to sort of finish that, there might be some government grants out there which we can help with implementing some of the sustainability into property development.
They haven't got a very good track record, have they, frankly, the government, because they rolled out the feed-in tariff, didn't they, for the solar panels, and then everyone went mad and it was a bit too successful. And then like, oh, you know that thing we said about we're going to pay you every year for 25 years? Yeah, we're not going to do that. Yeah. So with that in mind, you know, when they roll out things like sustainability grants and stuff, are you guys sort of reticent to jump straight into it? Will you let some like a Taylor Wimpey or a Barrett or some of the big boys go and play that game, watch what happens, see if it works, and then jump in after? Because obviously you're not at the size and scale that you can, sort of warrant taking on board any extra water that a government grant, dangled carrot, would potentially give you.
We've looked at government grants before, and there was the Build Fund for a while as well, which was great. But the paperwork you had to go through, it just took forever. So although it was cheaper, it took forever. So we've looked at that. But yeah, any other sort of grants that come out, I probably wouldn't. I'd want to see someone doing it successful before, and then follow in their footsteps and do it. But we are ones to kind of jump onto something quite quick and try it. Yeah, if it doesn't work, and the people we teach and the students we've got, if it doesn't work, we'll tell them, and if it does work, we'll tell them. So that's the way we kind of look at how we do stuff. We try things first, but we think about trying things first. So obviously if we don't think it's going to work, we won't try it. If we think it might, we'll try it.
Yeah, and one of your developments before you trade that's why I think actually you guys within that sort of property training space, which can be sort of considered to be a bit of a shark infested water, frankly, and you know that and I know that, and we sort of vicariously know who we're talking about and who we're not talking about. But I think the reason for it is because a lot of people out there are training stuff that is still theory, and whilst they might have, you know, like several hundred buy-to-let properties, you know, all of a sudden they're also then training service accommodation, which then goes sideways, or they're teaching developments, but they've never developed anything. I think that's probably the secret to your success, or not even a secret. It's fairly obvious and evident, isn't it? That you guys have been there, done it, bought the t-shirt, seen what works, seen conversely what doesn't work, and you're testing, trying and measuring before you're then going, hey, you should do this, because they say, you know, those that can do and those that can't teach. But I think with you guys, you're doing it, and then I don't think of you guys as teachers of it. I think you guys share what works, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's
some of the deals your clients are getting. What's that big, like a warehouse factory thing that I can't remember, Farhad?
Yeah.
That one's nuts, man.
It's mental. Like, we joint venture with him in the end because they needed the track record to get the fund.
Tell us about that deal, because that looks insane.
Yeah. So obviously we teach people how to become property developers, and Farhad and Srila, they were on the course together, not knowing each other at the time.
Oh, did they not?
No, they met on the course, realized that they live close and they've got some sort of similarities as well. Went out and started finding some property deals, and they're really, really good guys. That they went out and did exactly what we tell them to do. They found this property, which was £800,000 to purchase. It's an old derelict shoe factory.
Looks amazing.
It is awesome. So Farhad drove past it. In fact, he drives past it every single day, and he kept saying to himself, I'd love to do that, before we taught him. Then we taught him, and he thought, it came on the market. He's like, I've just got to look at it. So he looked at it. He won the deal. He came out to Bali on one of our business retreats, and he literally was sat there saying, right, I've got this deal. I've got this contractor, which we're not really happy with. I don't think it's going to work with them. So we went through this whole sort of idea of actually, will it work? Won't it work? Ended up that it wasn't going to work. But then we kind of said to him at the time, look, obviously we are literally up the road from that property. We are finishing a site in Milton Keynes very soon. We'd happily jump on if you need another contractor. We'll jump on with you if you want. And we did a 50-50 there and then in Bali, and we're currently converting at the moment. But that's it's a special property because I'm a big shoe fan. I love shoes.
You do love a shoe, don't you?
I love a shoe.
I'm from Northampton. Your brother plays for Northampton Town.
You've got to, yeah.
You love a Larry pair of shoes yourself. Like, everything about that deal just stacks up, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought, well,
that could be Girardi Towers. I mean, if they don't let you have that one, then there's something wrong. So what's actually getting converted into? So it's 24 apartments.
24 apartments. Yeah. So we're doing a show home in the next few months, which again, Andy likes to call me Lloyd Llewellyn Bowen because I like the
I could so see that.
I like the interior decorating of stuff and things, and for me,
the beautifying it. Andy will smash it down and you'll make it look lovely.
Exactly. Anyone could build a house, mate.
Yeah.
That's what I tell him all the time. But dressing it up, making it look nice, that's me.
Oh, fantastic. Right, mods and speakers, flash lights, if you'd like to delve into the wisdoms of Lloyd Girardi, we could talk about property or mindset, the strategies around what they're doing with the bigger development stuff. If you're in property and you're looking at going to the next level, feel free to flash your mic. Who was flashing a minute ago? I think it was Dr. Nashita. Are you still there, Dr. Nashita?
I am. Good morning, winners, and hello. Good morning from Norway. 9:30 in the morning here. Loving the conversation. I joined a bit late, so apologies if I've missed maybe somebody asking this question already. But I was fascinated by the swap story that you shared. And one of the questions I had really was what you've taken away for yourself, what it's changed for you, or a lesson or a learning that you've kind of, an imprint it's left with you. Because I think when you have these very powerful experiences, it often does something to you that's quite permanent. So I'd love to know what that was for you, if you'd be willing to share. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously the reason for the show is not just one way, it's two way as well. So for me, although I appreciated it anyway, but I appreciated it more kind of the support that Lydia provides and the family that we've got as well. And I think I was, because I was growing up, I didn't have money when I grew up. So as soon as we sort of started to have money, even when I was working selling lights, I used to spend it. Literally, I was the kind of guy that earned £1,500 a month and spends £1,600 a month. I was always spending more than I earned, just because I wanted to live. So I've kind of
just lots of shoes.
I've kind of appreciated the money more, and obviously doing business as well, you kind of learn to appreciate it naturally. But for me, it was about the spend. I used to literally I was a willy-nilly spender. I literally Amazon through lockdown. If the Amazon delivery driver wasn't coming to my house every single day, I missed him. I was that kind of person.
I love that guy.
That was your social interaction.
Yeah, I just wanted to see someone. Like, what can I buy? Screws. I don't need them.
Steve, I've ordered something else. I'll see you again tomorrow.
So from that show, I have kind of stopped spending a lot.
You thought about that, didn't you? Because you know that maybe some of Lydia's mates will be listening because they're quite on you if there's something that's incorrect online. They're like, no, Lloyd, he's definitely the spender. He's definitely the fashionista in their house.
Oh, there's on that show. There's loads of things that came up, which was some of them weren't true, but some of them were funny, and there was all sorts of things that people said. And
the two girls, when the person you swapped with, when they went to meet Lydia's mates at for a coffee, I thought it was just brilliant. The chair.
Yeah, I went to go and buy an expensive chair, and I was like, I didn't actually get it when she said, I was like, what chair are you on about? But it's a racing simulator mod thing. So yeah.
Oh, so it's not a chair, is it?
It's not a chair.
And just to let you know, like Lloyd still plays that simulator. He about a month ago, he was just like, look where I am, look where I'm sitting. And I was like trying to work
I was listening to your evening show, and I said, I can't talk. You invited me on the stage. I was like, I can't talk because I'm in the middle of lap 58 or something.
But you're getting quite into the whole racing thing now, aren't you? Because your little boy's getting into kart. He's quite good as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm biased. He's awesome.
But just the race results, it looks like.
No, he's doing really well. So we've got him into go-kart, but it's again going back to the sustainability question. It's electric go-karts. So Rob Smedley, who was F1 engineer for Ferrari and Williams, he set up this new go-karting championship for electric go-karts, and Arlo was the first one to sort of try them out and test them when they released them. He absolutely loved it. So bit of a taste today. You could see the face when he came off the go-kart. He was absolutely loving it. So I said to him, look, do you want to carry on? And kind of thinking, well, I kind of like him to carry on, but the price price is quite expensive. So he said, yeah, he'd love to. So for us now, we do go around sort of the country following Arlo and taking him to sort of go-karting events. And he's in a championship at the moment. Currently, he's done 2 out of the 3 rounds. He's 10th at the moment out of, 28 people, but some of them done 3 rounds. He's only done 2. So I'm hoping he creeps up a little bit. But yeah, that's something that we're really passionate about as well.
Oh, that's cool. So that a great question from Dr. Nashta. What is, so your sort of number one takeaway was the sort of the extra value of money. What about the kids?
I think the other thing as well is although I'm a creative person and I like to think of things, when it comes to the activities and the kids, the only thing I can do is go to the park. And so Mark and Natalie, the couple that we shared with, they have like activity days and craft days with the kids in house. And that's something that I've been doing as well. So I don't know if you saw my Instagram, you've seen my castle I made.
Yeah. Proud moment.
That was
turns out not everything he builds is good.
Still standing though. Still standing. But yeah, I like to do the activity stuff now with the kids, and not that I didn't interact with them. I'm interacting with them more and doing more of the things that they want to do and things that don't cost money. Like we used to just throw money at a 360 play and go and do a soft play and just sit and watch them and get entertained. And now we get more involved and do stuff with them as well.
So what about the kids then? So what lessons do you think they got from it? Because obviously one of your big things for going on the show in the first place was to give them a better understanding of the value of money. Because like you said you didn't grow up poor, but you didn't have like loads of money growing up. But obviously your 2 lads are going to grow up. They're not going to be in a world, touch wood, they're not going to be in a world where money's ever really a challenge for them, are they? Nice house, nice cars, stable family home, happy mum and dad. And I guess you have to, in a way, educate them that there's a different side to life. So what was the number one thing that they took out of it? Do they now value money more, or are they too little to kind of get it?
I honestly think it's too early to tell.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has had an effect on how they think about things, but I think it's too early. But we do use it and say that not everyone's sort of lucky enough to have whatever they need and whatever they want type thing. So I kind of keep reiterating that point. And we actually do talk about it and say, look, remember the show, like some people can't have that. So you can't have the new game. You can't have this on, even if it's just a free download on my phone. I'm just saying, no, you've got to earn and appreciate it to get it. You can't just get it. So I'm kind of teaching that in them, that you've got to go out and work for for nice things in life. It just doesn't come to you.
A lot of parents say this though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of parents say it. We try, but
you're a bloody soft touch. You are, aren't you? You know it.
I try my hardest, and I've got to say, like,
wrapped around her little finger.
Yeah,
one.
and is it still a challenge? I want to ask that. Even though you've done that experience, you know, because you know it will be. Sometimes as a parent, you think it's the easy route, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's not always the right route. And
you've got to think long term. Although you go through the crying and you think, oh, I'm being a really bad parent here. In the long term, that's what you got to kind of think of as well. So it's always about.
You might hate me now, but trust me, I'm making you a better person. I don't care. I want the game. You'll thank me in 20 years. I hate you. Oh,
isn't it? It's just when you hear it, I try to do what you say. But it's a lot easier to say it than when you've got screaming kids and you know that one thing solves.
I suppose now that they have got that reference points, they've actually because you know if they have been from a situation, I guess that's the benefit of doing something like that. If they're from a situation where they've never had to be challenged, and like your little, and if she knows that, all right, that is a right soft touch here. If I whinge enough, I'm definitely going to get my own way. She's got no reference point. Whereas you can actually say to them, "Would you remember the show? Do you remember where we were?" You can almost like mentally take them back to that place, and not to like punish them, but to be like, remember that situation. You know, we didn't have enough money for fish and chips on a Friday. So, you know, Mummy, still my favourite clip of the whole show, Lydia with going out with a bucket. I thought it was just brilliant. But you had to go and clean the cars to make the money for the fish and chips. And obviously, it's the TV and there's cameras and all that sort of stuff filming you. So, of course, like ordinarily, is that family going to go wash other people's cars down the street? Probably not.
So that moment we do talk about that with the kids and saying, look, the reason we washed the cars is because we didn't have the money to buy the fish and chips. Because that's what we built up to. And we always use that and say, look, we'd run out of money. And we tried to budget as well, but it was really hard. It was £75, I think we had.
Was it really for the whole week?
So just over a tenner a day.
Yeah,
it was tough.
Is that for just food and activities?
Food activities.
My whole question is with those shows, why is it? So you've got a limited budget anyway. Why do they make you go to the corner shop, which is the most expensive place? It's like tin of beans. This is £1.15. I'm like, it's not a Tesco's. It's 15 pence.
So I've had that question twice this week.
Right, okay, have you?
So the reason is just for the cameras.
It's good TV.
There's Morrison's down the road and there's Aldi, which I shop at Aldi now. Like it's not like but there's those down the road, but they don't allow the cameras in there. So
okay.
So it's all about the cameras.
The corner shops, because it is more expensive in there.
It is more
Every
expensive.
time, so don't go in there.
That's what we were like. I was like, can we not go to Morrison's where they've got deals on and things?
Yeah, I've got a loyalty card here. I've spent my point. I've got my Tesco Club card points, mate. I'm balling out this week on steak.
That's the only reason why.
I always like to ask, do you actually have like your access to your
No, the money. No, you literally.
They take the cards off you.
They don't take them off you.
But you have to leave them at home. In the spirit of things.
So like you've got it. If you wanted to, you could spend it. But that's just not the spirit of the show.
If you need an emergency curry, you could call in a Vindaloo. You could do an Uber Eats.
Yeah. So we didn't. We literally lived on the £75, and it was a struggle. And to go through that, we had to go and wash cars. I said to Lyd, like, we haven't got enough for fish and chips. We promised fish and chips or a treat for the kids on Friday. We haven't got enough, so we've got to do something.
It seems like you've got that. You promised £750,000. You had to go find it. You promised fish and chips.
Another devil.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you want to do something, say it out loud to other people and to yourself. You think, I can't let the other people down. If you don't tell people what you want to try and do on a Friday or something, you can just lie to yourself. Say, I wasn't going to do it anyway. Yeah. But if you tell people, I'm going to do this by Friday. And I'd challenge people on here to just put a post on social media and say, this is what I'm going to achieve by Friday. And then you'll find so many reasons to keep going, because you're just going to, in the back of your head, you're thinking, everyone's seen my post. And if I don't do it, I'm going to look right idiot. So
social media is great social proof, isn't it? Yeah. I love that. Oh, in fact, you know what? Let's just chuck out there. If you would like to set yourself a goal for next week, so 7 days time.
Next Friday show.
This is from a guy who is at one point not had enough money for fish and chips, so went out and washed a car. He's also never had a clue about property, and within 14 days raised about 150 grand, and then had done another 600 grand a couple of weeks later. So if you'd like some accountability on your goals, then stick it onto Insta stories and tag us tag in at the Winners Club and tag in Lloyd. Well, what's your handle on Insta?
Lloyd.Girardi.
Lloyd Lloyd.Girardi. So at well, that's easy, hard to say. Lloyd.Girardi and at the Winners Club on Instagram, and we will hold you to account. And then maybe everyone can come back on next Friday, tell us if they achieved it or not, or how they achieved it. Right, we're getting towards the end of the show, so we're going to wrap up shortly. Anyone got any questions or queries they would like to put to Lloyd? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm looking for flashes, popcorn styly, mods and speakers. Let's go to Ella. What's your question, my friend?
Good morning. My question is, because, the conversation around losing your father and then your grandfather, it's through grief that I've ended up into personal development and specifically more esoteric things. And I just wondered, what was the thing that made the difference for you in terms of your mindset and moving forward?
Yeah, so for me, I think a lot when moments like that happen in people's lives, I think you do have a realization. A lot of people, it's a bit cliche and people think, oh yeah, you've had this enlightening moment, but I think you do actually look at life a bit different and thinking, actually, let's do something. So for me, the whole power was behind achieving something I've always wanted to do and actually doing something with my life rather than just going through life working for the people. And also the fact that at the time I wasn't earning loads, so it was easy. It's an easy jump for me to jump into something different. We have a lot of people from the corporate world that are earning a lot of money that can't just walk away from it. So it takes them a little bit longer, but people that have got nothing, it's easy for them to start, because going back to nothing is an easier jump when you've got a lot of money and things like that. It is hard to think about losing sort of money. So when you get into property, there is that risk of things going wrong, but I think it's very, very slim. A lot of people talk themselves out of deals because they're expecting the worst and they expect it to go wrong, which it only will if you let it, and you only sort of fail when you quit. And if you don't quit, you can keep going, you'll keep solving some problems, keep solving the issues, and things will get better. But for me, the empowerment was the loss of my dad. It did help me. It did sort of inspire me to do something and to keep going, and kept sort of pushing my boundaries and pushing my comfort zones a bit more.
Awesome stuff. Does that answer your question, Ella?
Yes, I just love the fact that you've had some really inspirational guys sharing emotionally. When we complain about men not sharing their emotions, they need to come here. So really, really appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, we're an emotional bunch, us lot. I'm surprised we've not had a cry. Me and Lloyd love boy band tribute.
Boys Avenue.
We were going to go to watch. We ended up. I went once. There's
things you say, but you two look too excited right now.
Boys Avenue. So I went to Andy, Lloyd's business partner's house for a curry one night, and we had a great evening. It was really good fun, and they kept playing these tunes. And as the drinks flowed a bit more, Andy and Lloyd started singing along to these like boy band like cover songs, and I was like, do you know I used to be in a boy band tribute? And they're like, mate, this is hilarious.
Oh no.
And there's a band called Boyce Avenue, and they basically do. Are they from like?
I think LA.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're American, but
so
it's not just boy band. There's a girl in the band.
Oh, okay, so they do covers of famous songs, but in a. Why do we like them so much?
It's
just acoustic. That's
acoustic. Just acoustic covers, and I just love acoustic guitars, and
so
it's a good night. It sounds like an awful night.
Yeah, off the back of that night,
are holding something back. It's like you're trying to control your sentences.
No, literally, I can't remember how it happened, but on the way back, I think there was tickets for them playing at Camden Palace, and I was like, lads, I'm getting this ticket. And I think by the time I'd got back that night, I was like, I bought 3 tickets.
Yeah.
So we're going to go see this random tribute band do acoustic covers. You know, like the next morning you wake up and like, am I going to see an acoustic cover band in Camden with Andy and Lloyd? Am I dragging them from Northampton for a night out at Camden to watch a tribute band? Anyway, fantastic. I love this conversation. Love having you down. Where can people find more information about you and the stuff that you're up to? Oh, sorry, one more question. We've talked about your biggest takeaway from the show and what we think the boys have taken away from it. What was Lydia, your wife's biggest takeaway from the show, would you say?
Probably the fear of being on TV.
Really, yeah.
She's
really keeps a low profile, doesn't she?
She doesn't sort of get out there, and
Did you have to talk her into it then?
No, weirdly not.
Oh, really?
No, because she'd loved the show. She knew and understood it. Like, if it was a show that she'd never heard of, she'd be like, well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But no, she really enjoyed it. And even like the week before, she got really a bit anxious and nervous. And yeah, she's sort of thinking of what we're doing, doesn't know where we're going and all sorts.
Yeah.
But
'Cause there's no need to do it either, is there? Other than for the experience, like it's not like you need the profile to better your situation, is it? Realistically,
no, that's it. And for her, it was more confidence. Like, it gave her a lot of confidence.
Oh, did it?
Sort of just being on it and going through it and actually realizing that something she was fearful of to start with, it's nothing to fear.
Yeah, she came across really well in it, actually.
Yeah.
Like, you came across well, but she came across really well. Like, really,
yeah,
really grounded.
well.
Yeah, no, she was
No,
fantastic. She was like really grounded. It came across as like everything that show should be about. It was about that episode, because I have seen episodes where it's gone sideways, but that episode really was
different, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
lessons
different.
learned equally. I think equally valuable lessons were learned from both parties, and that came across. So, thank you very much for being here this morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you'd like to find out more information, click onto Lloyd's face, and you can go through to his Instagram. And don't forget, if you want holding accountable for your goals this week, tag in Lloyd at Lloyd.Girardi on Instagram, and also tag in the Winners Club at the Winners Club on Instagram. We will hold you to account, and we can all come back here next Friday and find out how well we achieved our goals. So, mods and speakers, give us a flash to the mic, or unmic and give them a whoop and a cheer and a clap. Lloyd Girardi, everybody! But my friends, that is not the end of the show, because we are going to be going for a couple more minutes. But I'm very excited about this, because we had on earlier in the show. Guys, it's been like a proper radio show. I feel like Chris Evans, everybody, like a rubbish Chris Evans.
You look like him.
Yeah, everything about this is poor man's Chris Evans. But yeah, we had Natasha Hamilton earlier on from Atomic Kitten coming on to talk about their new single, Southgate, You're the One. Football's coming home again. Loads of people have downloaded it. Fantastic. And changed our profile pictures. Thank you guys for supporting it. But Natasha is not the only person who has got a song that is absolutely hitting the dance floors and changing the airwaves right now. And hopefully he's in the audience. I think he is right now. Trey Lowe, aka one half of Architects. Are you there, my good friend?
I am here, my family. I'm here.
Right. So here's the thing, right? I was watching your Instagram stories the other day, and you talked about this when you came into the studio. So there's a remix, and we're not sure where it's coming out, but it's going to be hopefully in time for summer. And then I saw that you posted about it on your Insta stories, because the track was used on Love Island. And as a fanboy of you and your brother and what you guys have created as a production duo, and Body Groove was generally the sound of my youth. It is my favorite ever song.
It was the sound of the studio at 6:15 before the show.
It was. So I saw that you'd shared it on your Instagram, and I went into the kitchen. I was making lunch. I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna have to listen to it. And I shared my sort of viewpoint on it. First of all, I was like, oh, please don't, because it's such a good track. I'm like, how can you make a good track better? Like, how is it going to be possible? And I listened to it, and it's an absolute banger, mate. It's the sound of the summer, isn't it? How did the song come about? How much involvement did you have in it, etc.? Or do you just get told, hey, we've made this track, do you like it? How does it work?
No, I was totally involved in it from the start. We did a couple of other remixes, and then this label came and said there's this kid called Wiles. I believe he's Scottish. I've never met him, right? He's a young lad, I believe, from Scotland. He wanted to remix, and there was just something about the project and the way they were going to go about it. I just thought, you know what, let me just go with it. And so he's done a remix of it. And luckily we'd recorded the vocals again in 2014. I mean, for those who don't know, my brother passed away. So luckily we had these vocals. So everything about it was just fresh in terms of no one else has actually really heard it. So he remixed it, and the label have just been going at it. And it's just been incredible. It's been on Love Island. I've been up every single night because it's going on every radio station. Mr. Jam on Capital Dance is making it his song of the week.
Oh, is it really? That's amazing.
Yeah, that's why I've literally probably not been in this room much. I've just been working every single night because I've got to do all of these drops for radios and all these dub plates and edits and all of this stuff. So I'm just blown away. It's been incredible, the response. I think we've had 3 million likes on TikTok. It's had over, I think, nearly 200,000 spins on YouTube. It's going on the bigger playlist on Spotify. It was top 10 in Shazam. Top 10 in Shazam.
Wow.
I mean, that's just nuts, isn't it? I mean, for the whole of the UK, I'm just blown away.
Unbelievable. So we were talking earlier to Natasha. I think you were probably still in bed because you were working hard from the night before. But Natasha Hamilton from Atomic Kitten was on earlier, and obviously they did this song Whole Again, and it's been sort of picked up as the unofficial anthem of like English football supporters. And so they've changed it to Southgate, You're the One. You Still Tell Me On, Football's Coming Home Again. And there was a big they were doing it at Box Park on Sunday, and it just took off and went a bit viral. And they've ended up doing TV and radio interviews this week. Is number 4 in the charts again. So it's amazing because she's like reliving that the height of her fame, but she was in a very different place, the first time around, because she had postnatal depression. She was only 20. She had her first child, etc. And, the paps were following around everywhere. She's kind of having that experience again, but obviously 20 years older and wiser and sort of enjoying the experience more. What's it been like for you? Because obviously you've still been in the music game consistently over the years, but obviously this is now really like hyped up the focus of attention on you. What's it been like to sort of have it blowing up again?
Do you know what? It's funny, isn't it? Right? I think if every musician had their success in their 30s or 40s, their experience would be different.
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse would be alive. All of these guys would be alive. There's something about when you're young and you get it, you're not equipped to deal with that level of success. It's mad. And, for her and for me, this was before social media. So I imagine now it's even worse in terms of the pressure, dealing with your own mindset. Some people probably get arrogant or they can't cope. You're surrounded by all of these drugs or God knows what. I think when you get into this age, the age I'm now, 46, it's very different because it's not about you and your own little young ego. It's all about making a difference. And I'm sure she experienced it like that because at this age, you appreciate the music isn't yours and never was. There was no space or need for your ego in the first place. It's about the fans. I think for me, what it's like for me is, wow, like even hearing it on Love Island there's a whole new generation who probably didn't experience it first time around. They might have vaguely known it from their parents or someone a bit older. But I mean, imagine you're 18. The song came out 21 years ago, so you wouldn't have experienced it or even known it. So for me, what I feel is just this gratitude, because the whole reason for re-releasing it for me was because my brother passed away. I wanted his voice to be heard by the next generation. So for me, it's...
Oh, I think we've lost you. Are you still there, Trey? Is it just me or is Trey gone?
I bet his phone's wrong.
Yeah, Trey.
He's gone.
He's gone. Oh, so enjoying that as well. Okay, well, we were going to... Oh, he's muted. Unmute Trey. Are you back? Maybe his phone's been blown up so much he's melted. All right, well, we're gonna wrap up the show shortly anyway. So yeah, amazing. I can't. That's made me feel so old. Maybe they've heard it from their parents. I'm like, what? How are we old enough for this? But I guess we all are, aren't we? Also, if you want to, if you want to find out more about the cool stuff that Trey's up to, Trey is on the speaker table. He's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th row down on the left hand side. And if you want to, just click on his face. 46 years old, that guy. Are you kidding me? Hashtag Team Handsome. What's going on? I need his moisturizer, whatever that is. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back, everybody.
So did I cut off?
You cut off. You disappeared, and I just had to talk about how handsome you were to fill the time for a bit, which was easily done, my friend. I've got to say.
How handsome I was. I don't even know how much you guys missed, but yeah, like I said, it just feels like an honor. I think that's what it is. Now that music feels like it's for the people, and it has nothing to do with me. That's how it feels for me. It's beautiful.
Go on, my man.
So blessed. So thankful.
Well, we are so I absolutely love it. And I listened to it with fear the first time because I was such a fan the first time around. I was like, please do not have ruined one of my favorite songs of all time. And they definitely haven't. So I think that's how we'll wrap up the show this morning. We'll play the full version of the track. So Ash, Lloydie, anything to say before we wrap up this morning to the gang who are listening?
Chris, you've done well.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate it. It's a lot. It's hard work. I stink. I'm sweating so bad over here. I didn't have to share that, did I? Because no one's going to smell me. But just in case anyone comes in for a hug later, just know that I stink. And I'm very sorry in advance. Cheers for your ears as always, everybody. Thank you for being here. We've had another amazing... This week, right, I said this to Hayley last night. We put out a podcast on Monday, which featured John O'Brien MBE, the guy who's Time magazine president, King of Shaves Will King, Chris Mattman, who is the head of innovation for the Jet Propulsion Lab for NASA. We had
Timothy Smith on that as well.
So Tim spit on it as well. We had a live conversation with Joe Foster, the creator of Reebok. We've had Natasha Hamilton on, and we've had Lloyd Girardi. I mean, I tell you what.
And now Trey.
And now Trey as well. I mean, the accolades.
And I'm back, guys. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my reception.
That's all right. I think your phone's just blown up because you're too popular. But we're saying essentially we've had an amazing week of content. It's been brilliant. Mods and Speaks, if you've enjoyed this week of content, flash your mic. If you've learned something, it's coming home.
Party group, go on, Trey.
We've got it ready. Let's go.
We have got it ready. We're going to end the show with this. Listen to this track, 21 years later, remixed by some young kid in Scotland, and it still sounds fresh, featuring our good pal Trey and the vocals of his brother. He wanted his brother's voice to touch the next generation, and I reckon they might just do it with this track. This is the sound of the summer. Enjoy Body Groove. Oh, there you go. This is such... I'm turning my headphones up. Nay, nay.
Weekend, and you're ready to make a move. You've been working 9 to 5 and it's so smooth. So mundane.
Turn it up, open your windows, and rave for the next 2 and a bit minutes. Because you got to.
You got to let the body groove. Make the body move. You got to let the body groove. Make the body move. You got to let the body groove. Make the body move. You got to let the body groove. Now is the time to your thing. Let the melody be the thing. All that I want is for you to get on down, so you can feel the music all around. But you got to feel the music all around, all around. So you can feel the music all around, all around. So you can feel the music all around, all around. So you can feel the music all around. But you got to make the body move. You got to let the body groove. Make the body move. You got to let the body groove. Make the body move. You got to let the body groove. Make the body move. You got to let the body groove. You're on the dance floor, making your move. Don't look around, no, just do what you do. Live for the moment, take it in your stride. 'Cause you know that music really beats life. So you got to make the body move. You got to let the body groove. Make the body move. You got to let the body groove. Make the body move. You got to let the body groove. Make the body move. You got to let the body groove.
What a tune. The sound of the summer. The new remix of Body Groove. Trey. What a song you and your brother created, man. 21 years ago. It still sounds incredible all these years later. Cheers to your ears. Make sure you join us at 4 o'clock this afternoon for Lucienne's coaching room. We can't go anywhere, though, before Ash in the studio. I mean, we talk about talent. Oh, hang on a second. We're playing the wrong thing there. Ash, come on. We can't leave before you give us the famous words, Ash. Let's do it.
Let's rock and roll.
He said it, everybody. Have a fantastic Friday. Love you lots. Goodbye.
Love you guys, man.
Bye.
Ciao for now.
I should have ended it on Body Groove, shouldn't I? I've killed the vibe. Sorry, guys, I've killed the vibe.